Hitaki Kakashi has always been curious about the identity of the mysterious masked man. Because this person seems to have a very strange attitude towards himself. Not on a basis against Konoha Village, and it seems to be a kind of personal grievance-like feeling. But Hitaki Kakashi didn't know such a person. The only related Uchiha Obito, is also long dead. What's more, he will not have a deep hatred for himself. Chian Yu glanced at him and said with a smile, "The time has not come yet, you don't need to know yet. In short, remember that he will be your enemy, so try to improve your strength." Hitaki Kakashi sighed and nodded. Okay, now. Many ninjas from Taki Village, including the leader Shiki, also surrounded them. Mizukage-sama, those two people are members of the Akatsuki organization? Chian Yu said. That's right, but it doesn't matter anymore, they don't dare to come back in a short time. Shibuki was overjoyed. Thank you Mizukage-sama. This time, thanks to Mizukage-sama, otherwise our Taki Village would really be doomed. The other ninjas also said with emotion. Master Mizukage is really Kamui. The masked man from the Akatsuki organization is already unimaginably terrifying, but in the hands of Master Mizukage, he was still beaten terribly. Thinking about it, he really didn't dare to act rashly anymore. Shiki thought more. Indeed, this time the Shao organization's attack was repelled. But this is Chian Yu's strength alone, and it is impossible for him to be in Longyan Village forever. What if Shao organizes to come again? Thinking of this, he couldn't help worrying. Shiki suddenly said, Mizukage-sama, I, on behalf of Takigakure, have a request. What request? Please let us Takigakure become a part of Kirigakure. Just like a Tonin village, Chian Yu's heart skipped a beat. This Shiki looked cowardly, but he wasn't actually stupid. He knew that he would not stay forever, so he simply let Longyan Village be merged into Kirigakure. In this way, the Akatsuki organization must also be cautious, and dare not attack Longyan Village easily. Of course Chian Yu would not refuse. He smiled. Is this your decision alone, or the entire Longyan Village? Shibuki looked at the ninjas around him. Of course, these ninjas couldn't wait for it, and immediately said, it's the request of everyone in Longyan Village. Chian Yu nodded. Okay, then I promise you as Mizukage. Shiki and the others were immediately overjoyed. Thank you Mizukage-sama. Shiki suddenly thought of something again. Besides, I also hope that Seven Tails Jinchuriki can temporarily follow Mizukage-sama, whether it be to Konoha Village or Snow Hidden Village. In this way, her safety can be better protected. To be honest, Longyan Village will no longer be coveted by the Shao organization. Chian Yu smiled. You have considered it very clearly. However, this is indeed a way. I promise you. Shiki was even more delighted. In this way, Taki Village and Kirigakure are family, and Seven Tails Jinchuriki has the protection of a peerless powerhouse like Chian Yu, so she no longer has to worry about her safety. As for Longyan Village, as long as the news is released that Seven Tails Jinchuriki has followed Chian Yu to Kirigakure, naturally she will no longer be closely targeted. It can be said to kill two birds with one stone. The other ninjas of Taki Village also admired this leader. He looks young, but he actually has a clear view of the situation. At this moment, the sky has also brightened. Then, Shiki led the crowd to the underground secret base where Seven Tails Jinchuriki is located. And told her everything before. Fu was overjoyed immediately. That's great. I've always wanted to see other places. To be honest, since I became Seven Tails Jinchuriki, I can't go anywhere. I've been suffocating. Mizukage-sama, are you really willing to take me in? Chian Yu smiled, stroked her hair and said, of course. Fu's face flushed with excitement. So far, the matter in Taki Village was perfectly resolved. Chian Yu severely injured the mysterious masked man and Uchiha Itachi, completely defeating Akatsuki's plan to capture the Seven Tails Jinchuriki of Longyan Village. And Longyan Village also willingly surrendered to Chian Yu and Kirigakure. So far, under Chian Yu's command, he has already occupied the four lands and forces of Kirigakure in the country of water, Konoha Village in the country of fire, Yinan Village in the country of Yu, and Taki Village in the country of Taki. In the entire ninja world, it is already unmatched. And with Seven Tails Jinchuriki returning to Kirigakure, Chian Yu also has 3 Tails Jinchuriki Miru, 6 Tails Jinchuriki Bubble, 7 Tails Jinchuriki Fu, and 9 Tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto and Jinchuriki. Of course, this also means more responsibilities and burdens. Chian Yu also obtained hero water from Longyan Village, a secret medicine that can increase chakra dozens of times in an instant. Although you don't use it yourself, you can share it with others, and it can play a major role on the battlefield. After solving all this, accompanied by Shemu, the leader of Longyan Village, Chian Yu came to the holy tree again. These days, following the time when Chian Yu used the fairy technique chakra to induce the recovery of the holy tree, it has been in a very violent state. The entire Taki Village, who just felt relieved about the Seven Tails Jinchuriki and the Akatsuki organization, couldn't help being terrified of this so-called holy tree. Shiki sighed. Now the villagers have changed from worshipping this sacred tree to fearing it. It is said that this holy tree can move by itself, and the branches, leaves and vines seem to be revived, swallowing many other life in the jungle. It is very terrifying. Even a ninja from Taki Village was swallowed alive by chakra and life force and died. Mizukage-sama, I don't know how to deal with it. Chian Yu nodded. I will handle it. Naturally, he was also very interested in this holy tree, that was believed to be a branch of the sacred tree. Then, with a wave of Chian Yu's hand, a huge blast of freezing cold air burst out, wrapping the entire huge holy tree in ice. Then it was suddenly compressed, turning into the size of a palm, and was collected by Chian Yu. Chian Yu had this ability before, but after comprehending the frozen space, he could use it more and more freely. Seeing this scene, Shiki was even more taken aback, and fell in admiration for Yu's means. Seeing that the terribly resuscitated monster was taken away, Shikigi couldn't help but heaved a sigh of relief while sighing with emotion. After Chian Yu received the sacred tree, or little sacred tree, he returned to his room to deduce again. He released the little god tree again, and began to use his chakra, Shienju chakra, Hashirama cells, Mangekyo Sharingan and other abilities to detect and deduce its mysteries. Time passed gradually like this. Chian Yu studied all night, and finally got a thorough insight into all the secrets of the little god tree. He can now confirm that this is indeed a branch of the sacred tree. At that time, Otsutsuki Kagaya sneaked up on Otsutsuki Yishi, fed most of his body to 10 tails, and then let the sacred tree successfully take root on this planet, and bear the fruit of chakra. After swallowing Otsutsuki Kagaya, an area of unimaginable terror is gained. But in the end, she was betrayed by her 2 sons and fought a battle with herself. Then Otsutsuki Kagaya merged with the sacred tree, transformed into the real 10 tails, and started a decisive battle with the 2 unfilial sons. Eventually, she was successfully sealed with the 6 paths Planetary Devastation by the Sage of 6 Paths and Otsutsuki Hamura. The body of 10 tails was transformed into Ghetto statue, sealed by the moon transformed by 6 paths Planetary Devastation. And chakra, separated by the Sage of 6 Paths, turned into 9-tailed beasts. Certainly. In addition, as mentioned before, part of the sacred tree has actually been living underground in the ninja world. The roots are all over the planet, but because they can't continue to absorb natural energy, they can only hide. However, Longyan Village, a paradise, can be described as a beautiful place, with extremely rich natural energy. It happened that a part of the roots of the sacred tree passed through this place, and after slowly devouring and absorbing the natural energy, a small sacred tree grew. The water of heroes is also secreted from the little god tree. Although only a small part of 1/10,000th. But this is indeed a part of the sacred tree. Thinking of this, Chian Yu even began to tentatively integrate this power. Yes, his goal is devour small tree. This is not difficult for him who has the frozen fruit ability and his body can be elementalized freely. What's more, he already possessed extremely powerful immortal energy. This is not only the energy source of the divine tree, or 10 tails, but also the only existence that restrains him. 10 tails Jinchuriki are immune to chakra and ninjutsu, but not senjutsu chakra and natural energy. That's the reason. Chian Yu immediately used his body to fuse the power that devoured the little god tree. This originally lofty and towering sacred tree seemed to be swallowed and absorbed at the moment, and quickly shrunk slowly, turning into a flowing form, being absorbed into Chian Yu's body. This moment, Chian Yu instantly felt an unimaginable terrifying power. No, it can't be said to be completely peak strength. After all, this is only 1/10,000th of the sacred tree. However, Chian Yu already possessed the unparalleled potential to reach the pinnacle in this ninja world. True 10 tails Jinchuriki, 6 paths pinnacle. That's right. From the moment Chian Yu devoured and fused the branches of the divine tree, he has theoretically become the Jinchuriki of 10 tails. Although, it can only be said to be the Jinchuriki of the small 10 tails, or the prototype of the 10 tails Jinchuriki. But it's the real deal. This is like, Uchiha Obito can revive 10 tails with a small part of 8 tails and 9 tails chakra. Although his strength is not as good as his peak state, this essential change is like a natural moat, turning him from a ninja into a real god in an instant. Chian Yu is the same now, although his strength has not improved as much as imagined, his whole body and the essence of his whole person are completely different. As long as I can continue to practice, devour natural energy, transform it into my own chakra and energy, or devour and absorb the power of the tailed beast, you can truly become the ultimate creature comparable to Otsutsuki Kagaya. Certainly. This is a very long process. Chian Yu felt the majestic and terrifying power in his body, and was very satisfied for a while. This trip to Longyan village was originally just to protect the 7 tails Jinchuriki. Unexpectedly, but let oneself get such a big harvest. 10 tails Jinchuriki Chian Yu. From then on, Chian Yu not only possessed the ability of frozen fruit as killer feature. Even in this ninja world, fully using the ninja world's own ability system has already stood at the peak of the entire ninja world. And Chian Yu guessed that in other places, there should also be branches similar to the small god tree. If he could devour them all, his strength should increase crazily. However, this is another story. After solving the problem in Taki Village, Chian Yu bid farewell to Shiki and others, and led 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu, Jiraiya, Hitaki Kakashi, Uzumaki Naruto, Sai, Haruno of the 7th class. Sakura and others returned to Konoha village first. But then, Chian Yu is ready to return to Kirigakure. Since the last time I came out, I had already spent a lot of time outside. He, after all, is the Mizukage celestial being of Hidden Village. Chian Yu asks Tsunade to stay in Konoha village as her 5th Hokage master. Orochimaru runs between Yinin village and Konoha village. He's still working on Hidan's immortality, obsessed with it. So Chian Yu didn't call him back to Kirigakure immediately. Jiraiya took Uzumaki Naruto away, ready to teach him how to control the power of the tailed beast. While guarding him, Uzumaki Naruto also let Uzumaki Naruto hurry up to practice, and finish with Uchiha Sasuke, and Chian Yu. Agreement. Finally, Chian Yu returned to Kirigakure with only 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu alone. Across the ocean, across the water, and set foot on the land of Kirigakure. All this made Mei, who had never traveled far, both curious and excited. She was even more excited when she finally reached Kirigakure. After Chian Yu took her around, he quickly called Terumi Mei and others together to listen to their report on the development of Kirigakure, and at the same time, he informed him of his actions these days. The whole Kirigakure welcomes back to their village once again. And at the same time, the mysterious masked man and Uchiha Itachi were beaten to death by Chian Yu. Relying on Izanagi, he finally escaped, but the heavy damage he suffered before is still there. Uchiha Itachi, how did you escape? The mysterious masked man asked coldly. Uchiha Itachi was silent for a moment. It was Chian Yu who let me go. Oh? He would be so kind? Uchiha Itachi sighed. No, he wanted my brother, Uchiha Sasuke, to avenge me by killing me with his own hands. The mysterious masked man was taken aback for a moment, then sneered and said, that's indeed a suitable way to die for you. It seems that this damn Chian Yu has really considered everything. Uchiha Itachi looked at his miserable appearance and said in a deep voice, what should we do now? The mysterious masked man said coldly, what should I do? The capture failed. Could it be that other people in Shao's organization can guarantee success? Uchiha Itachi. We Shao organization. I'd like to see how many other tailed beasts can be successfully captured by other teams. Now, the members sent by the entire Shao organization are also completing their own tail beast capture tasks. Deidara and the Red Sand Scorpion took over the character Jinchuriki, the 2nd tail of Cloud Shinobi village. 2 by Wooden Golem. However, this is not an easy task for the 2 of them. After all, the strength of Cloud Shinobi village is quite terrifying. And because they had been prepared for a long time, the 2 Jinchuriki and Wooden Golem were also well protected by Cloud Shinobi village. It is also difficult for 2 people to start. Yakushi Kabuto and absolutely responsible as 9 tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha village. But at this time, Uzumaki Naruto went to Takigakure village, and then went to practice with Jiraiya. Neither was successful. Kakuzu and Shimura Danzo went to Iwagakure to capture 5 tails Jinchuriki Han. The two men instead succeeded. Although Five Tails Jinchuriki Han did not leave Iwagakure like Four Tails Jinchuriki Laozi and became a monk traveling all over the world, he was not in Iwagakure either. But in other places in the land of Earth. Although Onogi was recalled urgently by the two-day scale, he was picked up by Horn and Shimura Danzo before he could return. After a fierce battle, they were jointly defeated by the two and successfully brought back to the base of the Shao organization. In fact, Five Tails Jinchuriki Han is not weak. Possessing the Boyle-style secret technique, he is one of the best in the entire ninja world in terms of strength. I am afraid that only a few people such as Tsunade can compare with him. In terms of speed, he can also run fast with the power of Boyle style, which is extremely fast and hard to resist. In terms of defense, he has steam armor made by Boyle style, which is enough to resist most attacks. What's more, he can also borrow the power of chakra from the Five Tails tail beast. Among the 9 big-tailed beasts Jinchuriki, their strength can be considered above average. It's just that, after all, it is hard to beat 4 hands with 2 fists, and was defeated by Kakuzu's secret technique of Earth Grievance and Shimura Danzo's power. In the secret base of Shao organization, Pain's face was also very ugly. This time, among the members of the 4 groups of Akatsuki, only Shimura Danzo and Kakuzu successfully captured the tail beast, and the other 3 groups were all defeated. Especially the group of Afei and Uchiha Itachi, not only failed the mission, but was also beaten up by Chian Yu, causing Afei to be seriously injured and dying. Today, 3 tails, 6 tails, 7 tails, and 9 tails are all owned by Chian Yu or his subordinate forces. Let Pain be even more cautious. But now, he has no choice but to temporarily unite the power of 10 members of the Akatsuki organization to activate the 9 seals of the Phantom Dragon and seal the power of the Five Tails tailed beast into the Gedo statue. So far, the Akatsuki organization has obtained the power of the 3-tailed beasts, 1 tail, 4 tails, and 5 tails. Sanagakure originally had only 1-tailed beast, but now it is completely lost. It was even worse for Iwagakure, who obviously owned 2-tailed beasts, but both were successfully captured by the Akatsuki organization. This made Onoki of the 2 scales suddenly furious. Originally, he used to cooperate with the Shao organization to attack the enemy, but now he hates the Shao organization to the bone. Then, Onogi, the 2-dimensional scale, immediately summoned the other 4 major powers to prepare to hold a new generation of 5 Kages conference to discuss against the Akage organization. And this time, the 5 Kages conference will still be held in the Iron Country. The other 4 big countries quickly responded to the call. Chian Yu asked Terumi Mei to stay behind at Kirigakure, and he himself took Kisame Kisame and Moon Moon as Mizukage guards to the Land of Iron. 5th Hokage Tsunade of Konoha Village, with Hitaki Kakashi and Might Guy as Hokage guards. Sanagakure's agent is Kazekage Baki, and Kazekage guards beside him are Gaara and Konkuro, and Mari stays at Sanagakure to handle affairs. 4th Reikage of Cloud Shinobi Village, with Darui and Shi. The 2 scales of Iwagakure are Onoki, and the guards of Tsuchikage are Terracotta and Black Soil. It can be seen that among the 5 major countries, apart from the updated shadows, the shadow guards have also gradually become younger, which symbolizes the transformation of the entire ninja world. Iron Country, the venue of the 5 Kages conference. Onogi, the 2-day scale, was the first to speak. Now, the biggest enemy of our entire 5 major countries is no longer each other, but the Shao organization. Our 5 tails Jinchuriki Han from Iwagakure, including the 4 tails Jinchuriki Laozi who is wandering outside, have all been captured by the Akatsuki organization. This is a great shame. It is a major crisis facing all our 5 major countries. 4th Reikage sneered. Master Tsuchikage, is it not time to use the Akatsuki organization against other big countries? Onoki said, I did make mistakes, but this is not the time to gloat, Master Reikage. 2 Jinchuriki from Cloud Shinobi Village are also being targeted, and one of them is your younger brother, isn't Loon afraid? 4th Reikage snorted, but did not retort. Tsunade said, now the Akatsuki organization is indeed a threat to our ninja world. They capture the tailed beasts not simply to weaken the power of the big countries. I am afraid there are even more terrifying plots. Everyone immediately looked in Chian Yu's direction. At this time, the entire ninja world has already known Chian Yu's omniscient calendar ability. Facing the ultimate goal of the Shao organization, this kind of difficult question is also looking forward to his answer. Chian Yu smiled slightly. Is it the purpose of the Akatsuki organization to capture the tailed beast? I can tell you, But what's the point? Onogi, the 2-day scale, frowned. Master Mizukage, what do you mean? Chian Yu said. About the fact that the Shao organization captured the tailed beast. I have already mentioned it a few years ago, right? Even in order to fight against the Akatsuki organization, the Akatsuki alliance was established. And what happened? It's not the same ending. Everyone's expression changed slightly. But what Chian Yu said is indeed true. In those few years, because of Chian Yu's advance notice and early warning, and because of the Dawn alliance he formed, the Shao organization was silent for a long time. And how it all got broken? Or because of the war between the 5 great powers. Konoha invaded Mist Shinobi, ending years of relative stability and peace, leading to the later Kirigakure counterattack Konoha, and Sanagakure, Tai Yin Shu teaming up with Sarutobi to start the main city alliance battle. The Akatsuki organization just saw the outbreak of war among the 5 great powers again. It was only then that he immediately took the opportunity to rise up, completely surfaced, and launched his own actions. While Sanagakure was attacking Konoha, 3 Tails Jinchuriki Gaara was kidnapped. Subsequently, the 4 Tails Jinchuriki Laozi who had successfully feuded with Tsuchikage Onoki was arrested. Then, taking advantage of the turbulent situation in the entire ninja world, a full-scale attack was made to capture all the remaining tail beasts and Jinchuriki. If they could always obey Chian Yu's words, maintain the Dawn alliance, and strictly protect the Jinchuriki in their own country, they would not be so easily defeated by the Shao organization. Onogi sighed. Mizukage-sama is right. It's a pity that there are constant conflicts among the 5 major powers. Under the influence of historical reasons, it is difficult to maintain permanent peace. But it's different now. The Akatsuki organization is our common enemy. Since this is the case, we must first abandon the current disputes among the 5 major powers, and work together to make a common cause. Shadows from other major countries also nodded. Even Sanagakure, who now hates Chian Yu's Kirigakure, and Tsunade's Konoha village, knows that this is not the time for revenge. Of course, one is because the Akatsuki organization is indeed the public enemy of the whole ninja world. The second is because the Akatsuki organization also plundered Sanagakure's 1-tail Shukaku, and the third is because, even if they want revenge, they don't have the strength. The tragic experience of 4th Kage Luo Sha has proved all this. 4th Raikage snorted coldly. In the last tripartite alliance battle, Cloud Shinobi Village also lost a lot. But at this time, he also knew it was not the time to be reckless. Moreover, 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee is his younger brother, and he also hates the Akatsuki organization. The last 8 Tails Jinchuriki Bruby runaway incident caused heavy casualties in Cloud Shinobi Village. Coupled with the death of 3rd Raikage, 4th Raikage overprotected Killer Bee, and even imprisoned him in Yunlei Gorge. It was called a practice, but it was actually under house arrest for fear that he would be harmed. It can be seen that 4th Raikage has feelings for this younger brother. So at this time, facing the ninja world enemy Akatsuki organization, 4th Raikage also hates it. He said, "That's right, now is indeed the time to unanimously speak to the outside world. When the Akatsuki organization is eliminated, what shall we do? But now, whoever hinders the 5 great powers from fighting against the Akatsuki organization is the public enemy of the 5 great powers." Tsunade also nodded. "That's the truth." Afterwards, she glanced at Chian Yu. "Then I have a proposal, which is to restore the Dawn Alliance, and this time, we will truly join forces with the 5 major powers to launch a counterattack against the Dawn organization." Onoki said, "I think so too." Tsunade said, "But this time, it can't be like the last time. Just let some ninjas among the major countries be distracted to do this, and it is difficult to plan in a unified way. I suggest that the allied forces of the 5 great nations be formed, and a real leader must be elected as the leader of the allied forces of the 5 great nations. Only in this way can we unite as one, work as one, and go all out." Everyone's heart moved. Everyone could see that Tsunade meant to let Chian Yu be the leader. For a time, the hearts of the other big countries were moved. It doesn't matter if Onogi has a 2-day scale. He also knew that the current Chian Yu was originally the man with the strongest power, the highest reputation, and the greatest power among the 5 major countries. In terms of personal strength, he has gradually been called the sleepiest in the ninja world over the years. Most importantly, Chian Yu's grasp of intelligence is unparalleled, and he claims to know everything. Most of the information about the Shao organization was provided by Chian Yu. He is indeed well deserved to be the leader of this alliance. Although 4th Raikage was not convinced, he also knew that this was the truth. What's more, he also wanted to wipe out the Akatsuki organization immediately to protect his younger brother. The most difficult to accept, of course, is Sanagakure. The feud between Kirigakure and Sanagakure was as deep as the sea, and the fourth Kekkei Genkai died at the hands of Chian Yu. They were naturally not happy to see Chian Yu grow bigger. But on the other hand, the Akatsuki organization is also Sanagakure's enemy. Not only captured one-tailed Jinchuriki Gaara, plundered one-tailed Shuhei, but also killed Chio Granny, causing Sanagakure to suffer a heavy blow that he could not bear. What's more, even if they don't agree, among the current 5 major countries, Sanagakure's right to speak is almost negligible. Then, Onogi smiled slightly. I agree, and I recommend Mizukage Celestial being to be the leader of this alliance. He had predicted that the end result would be like this. So simply push the boat along with the flow, to be a favor with the flow. Tsunade saw through his mind, and also smiled. I also recommend Master Mizukage. Then, she looked in the direction of 4th Raikage. 4th Raikage snorted. If it's to deal with the Akatsuki organization, then I don't have any objections. Sanagakure's agent, Kekkei Genkai, also sighed. We, Sanagakure, also agree. Chian Yu then smiled and said, since everyone trusts me so much, then I will do my part. Then, after a day of discussions at the 5 Kages assembly, the final decision is as follows. Restart the Daybreak Alliance, and this time it will be renamed the Allied Forces of the 5 Powers. Mizukage Chian Yu served as the leader of the Allied Army. That is to say, the presidents of the 5 major countries. On the front against Xiao's organization, Chian Yu is in charge of all command. The 5 major countries must fully support and cooperate. Regarding the issue of tailed beasts and Jinchuriki, under the leadership of Chian Yu, the major powers gathered the remaining tailed beasts and Jinchuriki, and all of them were concentrated on Turtle Island on the coast of the Land of Thunder. In addition, the allied forces of the 5 powers headed by Chian Yu selected the most powerful force to guard. In this way, the Akatsuki organization cannot be defeated individually. If you want to get tailed beast and Jinchuriki, there is no other way but to attack head-on. In the final analysis, this is the final decisive battle in the Yinshao organization. After the 5 Kages conference ended, all major countries immediately began to act. The 2-tailed Jinchuriki of Cloud Shinobi Village were first transferred by Wooden Golem, and 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee. Subsequently, Cloud Shinobi Village, Konoha Village under the protection of Chian Yu, and 3 tails Jinchuriki Miru, 6 tails Jinchuriki Bubble, 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu, and 9 tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto from Longyan Village also came to the island one after another. The legendary Turtle Island is actually a living giant tortoise. And on the back of the giant tortoise, a lost world like a primeval forest was formed. There are all kinds of grotesque animals, plants, and life forms here. Moreover, it is here that 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee passed the test of the real waterfall and became a perfect human calendar step by step. Chian Yu personally escorted the 4 Jinchuriki to the island, and then led the elite ninjas selected from the 5 major countries, and formed the Dawn Allied forces stationed on it. The news quickly spread throughout the entire ninja world. Naturally, it also reached the ears of the Xiao organization. For a while, Pain was also helpless, and the plan that he originally wanted to break down one by one fell through. Now, the only way is to. Akatsuki organizes an attack across the board, launching the final general attack and decisive battle. As the leader of the Daybreak Alliance and the president of the Ninja Alliance of the 5 major countries, Chian Yu naturally took the lead and personally guarded Turtle Island. Today, there are still 6 Jinchuriki in the hands of the 5 great nations, and the second tails Jinchuriki consists of Wooden Golem, 3 tails Jinchuriki Miru, 6 tails Jinchuriki Bubble, 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu, 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, 9 tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto. All were protected inside Turtle Island under Chian Yu's arrangement. As for the ninjas of the major countries who guard these Jinchuriki, they are all elite ninjas selected by him. Certainly. Even if the 5 major powers are united in foreign affairs, it is impossible for all forces to guard Turtle Island. Otherwise, the Xiao organization is likely to take advantage of the vacancy and attack the base camps of the 5 major countries. Just like when Sanagakure invaded Konoha, the rear was empty, and was killed by Deidara and the Red Sand Scorpion, easily plundering one-tail Jinchuriki Gaara. Iwagakure, the twin-scale Onogi as Tsuchikage, remains in the King of Kings. The elite ninjas selected by Chian Yu from the Land of Earth are Huang Tu, the son of Onogi, who is a 2-scale, and the explosion-style blood successor, Limit Ninja Satoshi. Sanagakure's agent, Kage Baki, naturally stayed behind in his own village. Chian Yu chose Gaara and Kankuro. In Konoha village, Chian Yu asked Tsunade to stay in the village to take charge of the affairs, and the selected ninjas were Jiraiya, Hitaki Kakashi and Might Guy. On Kirigakure's side, Terumi Mei stayed behind, and the selected ninjas were Hoshigaki Kisame and Ghost Lamp Full Moon. Because Cloud Shinobi Village is the closest to Turtle Island, although 4th Raikage did not go to the island, it can also provide support at any time. So Chian Yu only chose 2 ninjas, Darui and Shi. Now, on Turtle Island, headed by Chian Yu, the elite ninjas of the 5 major powers under his command include Konoha Village, Jiraiya, Hitaki Kakashi, Might Guy, Kirigakure, Dried Persimmon, Ghost Shark, Full Moon around the lantern, Sanagakure, Gaara, Kankuro, Cloud Shinobi Village, Darui, Shi, Iwagakure, Lois, Hunting. Of course, in addition to this, the major countries have also sent many other ninja troops to garrison. As a result, Turtle Island, which was originally a paradise like a virgin forest, has now become the most important military base of the 5 major countries. At the same time, Shao Organization, Pain once again activated Rinnegan's pupil magic lamp body technique. All the members of the Akatsuki organization were convened to discuss together. I think you've all heard that the 5 major powers have restarted the Dawn Alliance, even known as the 5 major power ninja alliances, and Mizukage Chian Yu of Kirigakure has become the president commander. The purpose is to specifically deal with our Akatsuki organization's Tail Beast capture plan. Now, all the tailed beast Jinchuriki remaining in the 5 major countries have been secretly transferred to the same place for centralized protection. We have already found out this place, it's on Turtle Island near the coastline of Cloud Shinobi Village. Now there, Mizukage Chian Yu of Kirigakure personally leads the overall guard, and has also recruited the most elite and powerful ninja guards from the 5 major countries, plus thousands of ninja troops gathered by the 5 major countries. It can be said to be a hopeless situation. Conan also said, not bad. In the current situation, it is obvious that Mizukage Chian Yu wants to force our Akatsuki organization to either abandon the tailed beast capture plan, or to confront the 5 major powers head-on. Pain nodded and said, indeed. So we now also have 2 options. The first one is to temporarily suspend operations. The alliance between the 5 major powers as a joke. As long as we stop our own actions, the conflicts between them will soon break out and fall into civil strife. At that time, we can naturally take advantage of it again. The second, of course, is to directly attack Turtle Island, confront Mizukage Chian Yu and the so-called allied forces of the 5 major powers, and capture all the tail beast Jinchuriki. What do you think? Shimura Danzo frowned. The current forces distributed on Turtle Island, even if the entire Akatsuki organization invades, I'm afraid there may not be a chance of winning. Not to mention Chian Yu and the elite ninjas of the 5 great nations, even those tailed beast Jinchuriki are not so easy to defeat. The Red Sand Scorpion said in a deep voice, indeed, Jinchuriki is not a live target, waiting for us to catch it. Each of them is quite powerful. Especially the 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, which is even more perfect Jinchuriki. The power of the tail beast is second only to 9 tails, and its strength is quite terrifying. Didera. Although I completely agree with going to war directly, what Brother Scorpion said is also reasonable, and the 5 major countries and those Jinchuriki should not be underestimated, eh? Kakuzu also said, indeed, I also agree with the decisive battle, but we need more strength. Pain was silent for a moment. I'm afraid it's too late to recruit new members now. Yukushi Kabuto, how are your impure world reincarnation armies getting ready? Yukushi Kabuto smiled slightly. Since Orochimaru surrendered to Chian Yu, Yukushi Kabuto looted most of Orochimaru's research materials in Yinin Village. It includes not only various forbidden techniques, but also various experimental materials and resources. Among them, he is most interested in reanimation jutsu. When Pain agreed with him to join the Akatsuki organization, he also took a fancy to his plan to form the Impure World Reincarnation Army. Yukushi Kabuto said with a smile, if it is an ordinary ninja, then the number of Impure World Reincarnation will be as many as possible, but you probably don't like this kind of estimate, right? Then, let me show you. Now I can summon the powerful Impure World Reincarnation. For a moment, Yukushi Kabuto unleashed his own summoning technique, Impure World Reincarnation. Immediately, boom, boom, boom. The whole ground was shaking, and countless coffins burst out of the ground, like mushrooms after a spring rain, and landed on the ground in front of him. And as the lids of the coffins were opened one by one, those strong men who had died reappeared in front of everyone in the Akatsuki organization. Among them, Uchiha Tajima, Uchiha Izuna, Uchiha Kagami, Uchiha Shisui, etc. of the Uchiha clan are included, as well as Hyuga Hazashi of the Hyuga clan and other dead clan members. In addition, there are Konoha's White Fang Hatake Sakumo, 10,000 years genin but opened 8 inner gates formation and killed 4 ninja swordsmen Might Dai, Yuhi Red's father Yuhi Makoto, Lingua Technique Kato Dan, Akamichi Takakazi, Mitokado Homura from the same class as Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo, etc. and Sarutobi Asuma who was killed by Hidan and Kakuzu before. Of course, it also includes the 2 Jinchuriki who died after drawing the power of the tailed beast after being captured. 4 tails Jinchuriki Lao Zi, 5 tails Jinchuriki Han. Gaara's body was taken back because of Chiyo's mother-in-law's rescue, and Chiyo's mother-in-law sacrificed herself to reincarnate to save her life, so the Akatsuki organization did not get his biological information. These powerhouses were obtained before Orochimaru launched Impure World Reincarnation. Before invading Kirigakure, some biological information was left as a backup. And now, it's all in the hands of Yukushi Kabuto. It's a pity that the most powerful Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama's 2 ancestors, Hokage, were sealed by Chian Yu's sealing technique and could not be summoned. There are also Sarutobi Hiruzen, Namikaze Minato, these dead ancestors Hokage, Yukushi Kabuto originally wanted to summon, but they all died using ghouls, and their souls were sealed in Shinigami's stomach, and he still can't break it. The same is true for Hidan, although the Akatsuki organization also has part of his biological information, but his soul is sealed by the ghoul and cannot be summoned. Of course, in addition to these famous figures in the ninja world, there are many dead jonin from the great kingdoms. Although the reputation is not as loud as these people, but the fighting power is definitely not weak. The entire Akatsuki organization couldn't help being shocked when they saw the Impure World Reincarnation Army summoned by Yukushi Kabuto. Shimura Danzo couldn't help but sigh. Yukushi Kabuto, it seems that your mastery of Impure World Reincarnation even surpasses that of Orochimaru. Yukushi Kabuto laughed. I think so too. Now my Impure World Reincarnation accuracy has long surpassed Master Orochimaru, and I can better display the strength of these dead liars. If Master Orochimaru's previous accuracy has at most increased by about 30% of the strength of the dead strong at their peak state, now I can let them produce 60% to 70%, or even more than 80% of their strength. This time, even Pain couldn't help but nodded. Well done, Yukushi Kabuto. This time the decisive battle with the 5 major powers and Chian Yu, your Impure World Reincarnation Army will be one of the main forces. Yukushi Kabuto smiled slightly. Thank you for the compliment. These Impure World Reincarnation armies can fight against the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries on Turtle Island, and of course include the so-called elite ninjas of the 5 major countries. Of course members of our Akatsuki organization can also fight against these guys. However, the most troublesome thing is still the man named Chian Yu? Pain nodded. Well, but just leave him to me to deal with. Immediately, all the other members of the Akatsuki organization were also shocked. In fact, no one has seen Pain's full calendar. Even members like Kakuzu, who were personally recruited by Pain, are just Pain Tiando alone, and using the power of Shenluo Tianzheng is enough. However, facing an opponent of Chian Yu's level, even Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki organization, will inevitably need to go all out. It seems that this battle will be the pinnacle battle of the entire ninja world. Pain is still like a god, saying without any emotion. Very well, this battle will be the final battle. If we win, we can directly get all the tailed beasts and realize the ultimate plan of the Akatsuki organization. If it fails, it's truly doomed, so we must win. Many Shao organization members also immediately said, yes. Now, on Turtle Island, Chian Yu has arranged perception and defense barriers around here. Once the enemy invades, it will be sensed immediately. Of course, even Chian Yu's enchantment is not omnipotent. Uchiha Obito's Kamui, for example, can walk right through without being noticed by any enchantments. A Master of Pain's level will also use summoning technique to disrupt the enemy's judgment. Just like what he did when he invaded Konoha in the original. So Chian Yu will never take it lightly. He dispatched elite ninjas from the 5 major countries to form a patrol team to patrol around the entire Turtle Island. And he himself, together with 6 Jinchuriki, is in the secret barrier inside Turtle Island. It is naturally the safest way for Chian Yu to guard here personally. And on this day, Akatsuki's general attack finally launched. In the enchantment of Turtle Island, imaginary Kong suddenly twisted strangely, rippling like Uzumaki ripples. Then, a masked man appeared inside the barrier. It is the mysterious masked man, a member of the Akatsuki organization with the pseudonym, Afei, of course. His real identity is Uchiha Obito. He looked at the enchantment around Turtle Island and knew it was Chian Yu's handwriting, so he couldn't help sneering. This kind of thing also wants to trap me. The mysterious masked man snorted coldly, and then activated his own Kamui secret technique. For a moment, buzz. The remaining 9 Akatsuki members were all released by him from the Kamui space. Pain glanced at him, and there was a bit of vigilance in his eyes. Obviously, the cooperative relationship between him and Uchiha Madara is nothing more than mutual use. I have always been paying attention to the opponent's ability. Not to mention Pain, Conan has been researching the ability of Uchiha Madara, otherwise it would not be in the original work, so understand the characteristics and defects of Kamui, and use the meter. Jong Detonator fought against him. Deidara looked around and smiled. Is this the Turtle Island? The environment looks good, huh? The Red Sand Scorpion said hoarsely. HMPH, it's a pity that it will be destroyed soon. Kakuzu also said coldly. Indeed, I don't know how many lives will survive on this Turtle Island after this battle. Everyone looked serious. Facing this final decisive battle, even the members of the Akatsuki organization, all of whom are rebels from major ninja villages, real desperados, couldn't help but feel a little nervous. Pain said indifferently. Okay. The decisive battle begins now. Yukushi Kabuto, your impure world reincarnation is ready to be summoned. Yukushi Kabuto smiled slightly. Yes, Chief. He immediately slapped the ground with both hands. Summoning technique. Impure world reincarnation. Immediately, countless impure world reincarnation troops were summoned out one by one, kicked off the coffin lid and walked out. The terrifying chakra and power burst out in an instant. And Pain also suddenly launched his own summoning technique. Immediately, Pen 6 paths finally made their debut for the first time. Just above Turtle Island, all 10 members of the Akatsuki organization, together with the Impure World Reincarnation Army, rushed towards the allied forces of the 5 powers. The final showdown totally broke out. Akatsuki organizes all members to fight in groups. This is a scene that never appeared in the original work. This time, through the Kamui time-space ninjutsu of the mysterious masked man, the perception defense barrier set by Chian Yu was bypassed, and all members of the time organization appeared on Turtle Island. Then Pain called all the 6 paths, and all descended. And at his command, Yukushi Kabuto also summoned the Impure World Reincarnation Army. Both in terms of scale and quantity, they are far better than the time when Orochimaru invaded Yuanyan Village. Thousands of dead ninjas were summoned. Under the control of Yukushi Kabuto, he rushed towards the entire Turtle Island immediately. The decisive battle between the Akatsuki organization and the 5 major powers broke out completely. The first to discover the Akatsuki invasion was the Konoha duo who were patrolling Turtle Island. Hatake Kakashi and Might Guy. The two heard the shouts of killing that shook the world, and immediately looked down from above, and saw the Impure World Reincarnation Army summoned by Yukushi Kabuto, heading towards the center of Turtle Island. Suddenly, Hatake Kakashi's expression changed. He immediately said, Guy, hurry up and inform Master Mizukage. I'll resist for a while here. But Might Guy said, no, Kakashi, you go and inform Master Mizukage, these zombies let me resist. Hatake Kakashi hesitated for a moment, but nodded anyway. So I told Might Guy to be careful not to fight recklessly with the entire Impure World Reincarnation Army alone. Then rushed out immediately. Might Guy then roared and rushed down the mountain. In fact, this is not a mountain, but the highest point on the back of Turtle Island. At this moment, it is only heading towards the surrounding turtle shells. Facing hundreds of thousands of Impure World Reincarnation troops, Might Guy didn't hesitate at all. Immediately the 8 Inner Gates formation erupted. Immediately. 8 Inner Gates formation, 6th gate, Jingmun. Open. Boom. 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 The green chakra steam erupted instantly, and Might Guy's chakra's power, speed, attack, and defense all increased dozens of times in an instant. For a moment, it seemed as if a prehistoric beast revived, and monsters descended on Turtle Island. With a low growl, he shot out a right fist in an instant. It turned into a raging and roaring air cannon, bombarding the impure world Reanimation Army that bears the brunt. Boom. With a violent blow, the two leading impure world reincarnation ninjas were instantly smashed to pieces. Even, the violent positive fist rubbed against the air, burning out flames, burning the surrounding 4 or 5 impure world reincarnation dead. Unfortunately, these were originally dead ninjas. Although Might Guy's attack was violent and terrifying, the bodies that were blasted away, or the bodies that were burned out, quickly recovered again. Might Guy frowned. Sure enough, they are all zombie-like things. Although Might Guy is powerful, he really has nothing to do with these impure world reincarnations. After all, apart from the seal, any other attack is ineffective against the dead. And Might Guy, although not like Rock Lee, can't use ninjutsu at all. But it doesn't use sealing technique. Of course, even if Might Guy knew this, he would never have the slightest fear, let alone shrink back. Instead, he unleashes even more berserk chakra and power. Released 8 inner gates formation, the physical art secret under the 6th gate. To the peacock. For a moment. Boom. 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 Violent punches hit the air crazily, burning the entire air, turning into countless flames and blasting towards the battlefield ahead. This dazzling flaming fist and flaming air cannon spread all around like a peacock spreading its tail, which is really beautiful. But amidst all this beauty lies a terrifying chakra and power that Might Guy can't even imagine. For a while, the violent bombardment smashed the 20 or 30 impure world reincarnation victims who rushed forward, and the whole land was overturned. The raging flames were even more raging, spreading and burning the surrounding impure world reincarnation army. Yakushi Kabuto, who hides among these impure world reincarnation armies and controls all the armies, smiles. Konoha Village Taijutsu Ninja Might Guy. A ninja with such terrifying physical skills is indeed unprecedented. However, there is someone I would like you to meet. Might Guy jumped down from the air and cast the 8 inner gates formation 6th gate Jingmun profound technique. Behind the peacock, he was also a little out of breath, chakra wasted a lot, and his dynamic body also dropped a lot. But at this moment, in the impure world reincarnation army ahead, a man who was already dead suddenly walked out. Might Guy's face suddenly changed. Dad? That's right, the person who came was the father of the dead Might Guy. Might where? Might Guy looked at his son, especially the power of the 8 inner gates formation that had just erupted, not only did not feel the slightest sadness, but was very happy and proud. Guy, you really haven't been relieved. Unexpectedly, the power of your 8 inner gates formation has reached this level. The power of opening the 6th gate alone is probably stronger than Dad opening the 8 gates. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, this is real youth. Might Guy was very astonished and wanted to cry for a while, but on this battlefield, he couldn't cry. Dad, you. Might Guy smiled and said, but this is also a matter of course. After all, 8 inner gates formation is only to liberate your own chakra restrictions, and increase your strength to dozens or even hundreds of times of your normal state. Guy, you're a Jonin even without the 8 inner gates formation, and your dad is just a 10,000 years little genin. If Dad had talent like you, once the 8 gate opened, none of those Kirigakure ninja swordsmen would have escaped. Ha 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 ha. Might Guy became even more sad when he thought of the scene of his father's death. Dad, I don't want to fight with you. Might Guy shook his head. Why? Just because I'm your dad. Don't forget, this is the battlefield. What's more, Dad is already a dead man now, what can't be done? Might Guy laughed loudly and said, Guy, just let Dad see your current strength and growth. This is the real passion in youth. Might Guy finally nodded solemnly after hearing this. I see, Dad. For a moment, Might Guy even burst out violent chakra and power. The green chakra steam was more intense than before, boiling and scattered in all directions. Just the airwave erupting from chakra cracked and disintegrated the earth. Because Might Guy is already a dead person, he cannot activate the power of 8 inner gates formation, the 8th gate of death that can only be used at the cost of his life. But other 7th gates are possible. He immediately exploded with the shocking power of the 7th gate. Immediately, a terrifying blue chakra steam appeared all over his body, but in fact, it was formed by sweat evaporated and scattered by violent airwaves. For a moment, 2 ninjas who have mastered the 8 inner gates formation, and they are father and son, roared at the same time, and charged towards each other. Boom. With a violent punch, they rushed towards each other. Boom. Boom. The earth exploded in an instant, the ground shook and the mountains shook, flying sand and rocks. A huge crack was opened from it. It's like an abyss, bottomless. And the countless impure world reincarnation dead around were directly dropped into it. Although they would not die again, it was difficult to break free for a while. Boom. This blow, Might Guy's 6th Gate Jingmun force, unexpectedly defeated Might Dai's gate. In an instant, Might Dai was violently blasted away. That berserk right fist even exploded half of his body, turning it into a pile of ashes and dust. Might Dai suddenly fell to the ground in the distance. Seeing that half of his body was blasted off, his eyes became even brighter. Good. As expected of the son of my Might Dai. Guy, you really have a power zone that no one can match. Although the body of impure world reincarnation will be restored. But because Might's leg was also smashed to pieces, he couldn't stand up again for a while. Might Guy was also panting heavily. Obviously, such a state is also accompanied by huge risks and pains for him. And at this moment, another man stepped forward and smiled at Might Guy. Guy, I sure didn't misread you. I remember the day you and Kakashi entered the ninja school. I told him that you would be his best friend and strongest opponent for life. Now it seems that you have definitely done it. Might Guy was taken aback again. You are Kakashi's father, Konoha's white fangya Hitaki Sakumo? The person with white hair and gentle smile is the legendary Konoha's white fang, Hitaki Sakumo, who is comparable to Sannin. Hitaki Sakumo nodded. Might Guy couldn't help feeling very emotional. If Hitaki Kakashi saw this scene, how would he feel? But at this moment, Yukushi Kabuto sneered. Now is not the time for you to catch up with each other. He immediately manipulated Might Dai and Hitaki Sakumo, and stormed towards Might Guy at the same time. Might Dai gradually regained his ability to move, and once again rushed towards Might Guy with the power of the 7th gate. And Hitaki Sakumo, also wielding a short sword in his hand, exploded with amazing chakra and control power, and also rushed towards Might Guy. Hitaki Sakumo's short sword called White Fang was originally passed on to Hitaki Kakashi, but unfortunately, Hitaki Kakashi broke during the battle with the enemy during the Battle of Kanabi Bridge. Of course, any short sword in Hitaki Sakumo's hands can explode with unimaginable power. Although at this time, both Hitaki Sakumo and Might Dai can only exert 7 or 8% of their pre-birth strength, but the combined efforts of the two gradually made Might Guy unable to bear it. At this time, Pain Tiondo suddenly descended slowly from high above the sky. Like a god. Those tail beasts in the Jinchuriki are not on the ground of Turtle Island, but in the enchantment hidden inside the turtle shell. Members of the Akatsuki organization head towards the inner barrier of Turtle Island. Apparently, Pain was searching for the whereabouts of the tailed beast in Jinchuriki just now with Rinnegan's pupil power. At this time, he not only discovered the location of the tailed beast, but also found the passage leading to the inner barrier. With Pain's order, all Akatsuki members, including the Impure World Reincarnation Army controlled by Yukushi Kabuto, immediately changed direction and rushed towards the entrance. Might Guy was taken aback, seeing that even his father Might Dai and Hitaki Sakumo had given up on him, and immediately chased after the Impure World Reincarnation Army. However, since he was heading towards the entrance, Master Mizukage had already assembled a defensive army there, so there was no need to be too anxious. At the same time, Hitaki Kakashi has also arrived at the entrance of the inner enchantment of Turtle Island, and notified all the elite ninjas guarding here, and the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries. While letting these people defend well outside, they also came to the inside of the barrier and informed Chian Yu and the remaining Jinchuriki. Chian Yu smiled. Is it really here? Just right, this time we can catch everything in one go. He ordered all the tailbeast Jinchuriki to stay safely inside the barrier and not to fight. He left the barrier with Hitaki Kakashi and went outside to meet the enemy. Seeing Chian Yu's arrival, the elite ninjas and all the ninja coalition forces of all 5 major countries also breathed a sigh of relief. Even though he was an enemy, everyone was in awe and fear of Chian Yu. But now, as a partner of the allied army, Chian Yu made these ninjas feel an unprecedented sense of security. This is the aura and majesty of a truly strong man. Just then, the shouts of killing that shook the entire land of Turtle Island finally gradually approached. At the forefront is still the Impure World Reincarnation Army controlled by Yukushi Kabuto. Looking at these dead ninjas, the Dawn Allied Army was terrified and shocked for a while. Among them, there are dead ninjas from various big countries, and some are even their relatives, friends, companions, and seniors. While this shocked everyone, it also ignited incomparably indignant anger and hatred. Facing the army of hundreds of thousands of impure world reincarnation, Chian Yu took the lead and walked in the front. Subsequently, the right hand suddenly raised. Boom. The violent freezing cold air burst out in an instant, and it is still the most classic trump card of his move. Ice Age. However, there is of course the power of sealing techniques in it. Boom. Boom. In an instant, dozens of hundreds of impure world reincarnation ninjas were directly frozen and completely sealed. And just as the Ice Age continued to spread, a voice came from midair. Shenluo Tianzheng. It is the leader of the Akatsuki organization, Pain. Pain, the leader of Akatsuki, finally showed up for the first time. Facing Chian Yu's Ice Age, furious offensive, finally broke out the first wave of attack. As soon as he made a move, it was immediately his trump card. The signature Rinnegan pupil technique, Shenluo Tianzheng. Immediately, boom, boom. The incomparable repulsive force suddenly took his body as the core, and blasted out in all directions. As if, like a reverse black hole, it repels everything and bounces away. Chian Yu's Ice Age was also under this blow. The momentum of violent extension was blocked, the ice cubes shattered and exploded. Just the confrontation of two people's strength, the explosion and shockwave produced, instantly blasted hundreds of impure world reincarnation dead away. This terrifying power, for a moment, made all the ninjas on both sides stunned and shocked. This is the first wave of confrontation between the leaders of both sides and the strongest. Certainly. In the attack just now, Chian Yu was dealing with those ordinary impure world reincarnation troops. Although it incorporates the power of sealing techniques, it does not use its full power. And Pain's Heavenly Tao is the power zone that specifically fights against Chian Yu's Ice Age outbreak. But even so, Pain was indeed the first among so many large and small wars in the Chian Yu ninja world that he could fight against his own Ice Age with one person. Actually, in this ninja world where there is no ninja god, the era when Senju Hashirama, Uchiha Madara, Senju Tobirama, Namikaze Minato are all dead. As for the power of six paths, the era of has not yet appeared for Dao-level immortals. Pain is indeed a figure at the ceiling level of ninja combat power. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is the strongest. Among the ninjas alive in this era, there are only a few who can compete with him for the strongest, that is, Eight Tails Perfect Jinchuriki Killer Bee, Mysterious Masked Man, Uchiha Madara, and so on. And before the Masked Man has Rinnegan and Jinchuriki six paths, his strength may not be comparable to Pain's six paths. Killer Bee's strength is not inferior to anyone else, but his fighting IQ and fighting will are poor. It can be seen in the battle with Uchiha Sasuke's Hawk Team, and the fight with Kisame. So, the battle between Pain and Chian Yu is said to be the pinnacle battle of the current strongest ninja. It can be said that it is not an exaggeration. The companions on both sides were also extremely shocked, looking forward to this peak duel. Of course, they are not bystanders watching the show. After all, he is also part of the war. Pain Tiando stood in midair. Looking down at his companions, he also looked down at the ninja coalition on the opposite side. Mizukage Chian Yu, we finally meet. Not to be outdone, Chian Yu smiled slightly, and also burst out the power of Ryuchi Cave's fairy art, levitating up, soaring into the midair, and standing far away from Pain Tiando. Pain, I didn't expect you to actually have the courage to fight me decisively. Pain Tiando said indifferently. You created the Daybreak Alliance, united the 5 major countries to form the Ninja Alliance, and gathered all the Jinchuriki here to lure me to face you. Fight? I just complied with your invitation. At this time, Jiraiya looked at the man in the air, especially the pair of Rinnegans, and was shocked. Although, he had already heard about Rinnegan and Pain from Chian Yu and Orochimaru. However, seeing it with his own eyes still made him very emotional. He said in a deep voice, those eyes. Pain, are you Nagato? Pain Tiando glanced at him. Oh, it's teacher Jiraiya. It's been a long time. Jiraiya confirmed this when she heard him call her teacher. However, the strange thing is that although he has Rinnegan, the man in front of him is completely different from Nagato. Instead, it looks very similar to the dead Yahiko. Are you Nagato or Yahiko? What happened? At this time, Conan, the only female ninja in Akatsuki's organization, came out. This has nothing to do with teacher Jiraiya. Jiraiya looked at her, frowning even more. Conan. Sure enough, even you. Why did it become like this? Pain said indifferently. Mr. Jiraiya, you don't understand what real pain is. We've been through a lot since you left. The pain again and again has made me understand the wisdom and will beyond ordinary people, and I have been completely sublimated. A real god. Jiraiya's eyes widened. You, what are you talking about? Pain Tiando said indifferently. That's right, I am the god who leads the entire ninja world to the road of peace. Neither Mizukage nor teacher Jiraiya should hinder God's plan. Jiraiya and all the ninja coalition could not help but be shocked. Then, he laughed out loud. Nagato, you've become a joker. Joke? This is no joke, teacher Jiraiya. Let me tell you, the road to peace paved by the gods for this ninja world. Therefore, Pain set himself the purpose of catching tailed beasts, which is to create taboo-tailed beast weapons and use them in wars, causing huge and tragic casualties, so that human beings can recognize the pain and gain a short period of deterrence in pain. All the peace under the sun has been spoken out. Only then did the many ninja coalition forces know the true purpose of the Akatsuki organization. Of course, most people are also horrified by his crazy plan. Although deterrence may indeed bring temporary peace. But no one wants to be the group of people who are sacrificed in an instant. Facing the crazy plan organized by Pain and Shao, naturally no one would agree. Jiraiya said in a deep voice, Nagato, everything you say and want to do is just crazy, twisted and extreme. Don't say whether the peace formed under the deterrence of this kind of tail beast weapon is real peace, even if it is, it can only last for a short time. What's the difference between this and the current ninja world, which has been peacefully fought over and over again? What's more, isn't your tailed beast weapon sacrificing more lives each time? This is nothing but whimsical. Pain said indifferently, Mr. Jiraiya, it is true that the ninja world itself will achieve peace through ninja wars, but who do you think will be sacrificed like that? It's not a big country like your fire country, Konoha village, but an innocent citizen of a small country like our Rain Shinobi village. Jiraiya was also silent for a moment, because what Pen or Nagato said is true. Even though it is the land of fire and the land of earth, the war between these great powers will ignite the flames of war on the ground of Rain Shinobi village. As a result, a small country like Rain Shinobi village is in a state of war, and the people are in dire straits. No matter how you say it, there is no way to dispute the fact. Pain continued to sneer. Since it is all about sacrifices in exchange for peace, why can't you sacrifice the lives and interests of big countries like you? Jiraiya said, indeed, as a ninja of a big country, there are many evils and darkness that cannot be concealed, but this does not mean that you can kill thousands of people in an instant. Pain said indifferently, then there is only a question of position. What you want to kill is exactly the opposite of what I want to kill. For the rest, we can only rely on fighting to speak. For a moment, Pain's way of heaven fell gently to the ground, and beside him, the other 5 ways all appeared instantly. The way of heaven, the way of animals, the way of Asura, the way of hell, the way of hungry Keto, the way of humanity. Looking at these 6 people, and all of them have the god Eye Rinnegan of Sage of 6 Paths, Jiraiya and all the ninja alliances are shocked. Hitaki Kakashi also sighed, is that the god's eye of Sage of 6 Paths, Rinnegan? As expected of the leader of the Akatsuki organization, he has such god-like power. At this moment, Might Guy has finally returned to the front line of the battlefield. He laughed loudly and said, whatever it is Sharingan Rinnegan, now we can only fight to the death, Kakashi. Hitaki Kakashi smiled slightly, indeed. Hitaki Sakumo looked at his son, smiled and said, Kakashi, long time no see. Hitaki Kakashi was shocked, father. Hitaki Sakumo said with a smile, there is no need to say anything, I am very relieved to see that you are alive now, and you have not fallen into darkness because of the pain caused by my incompetent father. Gone. Do what you want, Kakashi, I will always support you. Father, and the ninjas of other major ninja villages also saw the dead in their own ninja villages in impure world reincarnation. I was very emotional for a while. Iwagakure's Lois in Hunting also saw the dead 4 tails Jinchuriki Lousy, 5 tails Jinchuriki Han, who was also brought out by impure world reincarnation at this moment, but has changed from a guardian of Iwagakure to an enemy. This moment. Pain is the way of heaven, which governs the way of Shura, the way of animals, the way of hell, the way of hungry Keto, and the way of the world. And the members of Akatsuki, Alfie, Ju, Conan, Shimura Danzo, Kakuzu, Deidara, Red Sand Scorpion, Uchiha Itachi, launched the final attack on the entire ninja alliance. At this moment, the war finally broke out completely. The sound of shouting and killing fell on Turtle Island in an instant. All of a sudden, the paradise that was originally like a primitive jungle turned into a real Shura battlefield. Chian Yu naturally confronted Pain Six Paths, the leader of the Akatsuki organization. As for Jiraiya, he fought with his former disciple Conan. Facing Iwagakure's rebellious Deidara, Wangtu, as the son of Tsuchikage Onoki, naturally took charge of cleaning up the sect. The Red Sand Scorpion was besieged by Gaara and Kankuro in the middle. In order to rescue Gaara before, Chiyo's mother-in-law paid the price of her life. And she gave her puppet, father and mother, to Kankuro, and her life and other ninjutsu to Temari and Gaara. Now, it is the time for the two of them to launch a revenge counterattack against the Red Sand Scorpion for the sake of Grandma Chindai. Shimura Danzo also charged in the direction of the Ninja Alliance. Ki Kakashi glanced at him, at Impure World Reincarnation's own father, Hitaki Tsukumo. Hitaki Tsukumo smiled and nodded at him. It means let him do what he should do. Hitaki Kakashi also smiled at his father, and then said to Might Guy, "Guy, the two fathers will be left to you to deal with. I'm going to deal with Shimura Danzo, Might Guy. I have partnered with Hitaki Kakashi for many years, and the cooperation is very tacit. Although the strength is about the same, but the mind is too different." So he was on the battlefield, never had any doubts about Hitaki Kakashi's tactical arrangement. He immediately agreed, and rushed towards Might Dai and Hitaki Tsukumo. Shimura Danzo looked at Hitaki Kakashi, and sneered. "You, who were loyal to Hiruzen, are now also surrendering to Nat and Kaiyu. Is it Kakashi?" Hitaki Kakashi said indifferently. "Well, it's much better than you betraying Konoha and joining the Akatsuki organization, Mr. Danzo." The two were not speculative, and immediately fought fiercely in one place. The two admirals of Kirigakure, Kisame Kisame and Manue Ghost Lantern, met Four Tails Jinchuriki Lao Zi and Five Tails Jinchuriki Han of Impure World Reincarnation. The Four Tails Jinchuriki in the original work was originally restrained by Hoshigaki Kisami's water style against lava style, and thus was successfully captured and died. Now the situation is reversed. Lao Zi has become a force controlled by the Akatsuki organization, while Gonshi Gisame is fighting fiercely with it for the sake of the five great powers. Five Tails Jinchuriki Han, who is good at boil style, has unparalleled power, speed, defense, and attack are also top-notch. Facing such a powerful enemy, Ghost Lantern Full Moon did not dare to neglect at all, and burst out with all her strength. While Hitaki Kakashi was fighting Shimura Danzo, suddenly, a man named Afei stepped in and prepared to deal with Hitaki Kakashi himself. Shimura Danzo snorted, and did not refuse. Instead, he fought fiercely with Cloud Shinobi Village's future 5th Reikage Darui. Hitaki Kakashi looks at Fei, the mysterious masked man who calls himself Uchiha Madara. This is the third time he has seen it. The first time, it was the night of the Uchiha clan's genocide. The second time was to capture Seven Tails Jinchuriki in Longyan Village. The third time is today's Akatsuki organization Turtle Island decisive battle. He has always known that the masked man in front of him has an inexplicable hatred for him, but he has never been clear why. Today, it is indeed time to solve all these mysteries. Kakuzu, Uchiha Itachi and others from the Akatsuki organization were also intercepted by Shi from Cloud Shinobi Village and Explosion Style from Iwagakure. As for Ju, he is not a combatant himself, and can only be responsible for intelligence, investigation, undercover and so on. And Yukushi Kabuto himself, because he has to control the ninja army of Impure World Reincarnation to fight, of course he can no longer participate in the battle. He surrounded himself with a part of the Impure World Reincarnation Army to protect himself. Then he manipulated the other dead strong men and rushed towards the Ninja Coalition Army. The Ninja Coalition forces of the 5 major countries also immediately fought towards the army of Impure World Reincarnation. Because Chian Yu had already made preparations, among the Ninja Coalition forces of the 5 major countries, they also concentrated their forces to form a sealing squad, which was used to deal with these Impure World Reincarnation troops. In addition, Jiraiya also summoned the Toad Army from Mount Myoboku. Chian Yu also summoned the snakes from Ryuchi Cave, and his own Sage Art Ice Escape Ice Dragon Knights all participated in the battle. Certainly, the core and key of the entire war is still the peak decisive battle between the leaders of both sides. Mizukage Chian Yu, against Pain Six Paths. Jiraiya summoning produced 2 Toad Sages from Mount Myoboku, Fukasaku Senjin and Shima Granny. Plus the 3 main forces, Toad Wentai, Toad Jien, and Toad Guang. As for Chian Yu himself, he summoned the entire group of snakes from Ryuchi Cave and the power of Sage Art's Ice Escape Ice Dragon Knights to assist the ninja coalition forces from the 5 major countries to rush towards the Impure World Reincarnation Army. After all, in the army of Impure World Reincarnation, there are Uchiha Izuna, Uchiha Tajima, Uchiha Kagami, Uchiha Shisui, Akamichi Takakaze, Mitokado Homura, Kato Dan, Sarutobi Asuma, Hyuga Hazashi and other soldiers. And Chian Yu countered with powerful forces such as White Snake Immortal, Tianshin Shenji, Ichikashima Haim, Tuanjin-ji, Wanshe, Second Generation Muwanchi, Green Snake, and Shinya. On the entire Turtle Island, there was a sudden sound of shouting and killing. The whole world was shaking. The terrain of Turtle Island even surpassed any ninja village of the 5 great nations. It is precisely because of this that it is able to accommodate this level of fighting and melee. And at this moment, in the enchantment inside Turtle Island, the Jinchuriki also all look dignified. They all know that this battle broke out to protect them. But myself, in this underground secret barrier, can't do anything. These Jinchuriki are naturally very restless and anxious. The 2, from Wooden Golem, glanced at 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee from the same village. Bye. Are we just sitting there waiting to die? Or, watching the entire ninja world fighting to protect us, but we can only hide here and do nothing? Killer Bee said. My uncle is also upset. Idiot, bastard, oh yeah. 6 Tails Jinchuriki frothed. Is this enchantment really indestructible? The 2 of them, Wooden Golem, shook their heads. This barrier was originally set up for Jinchuriki's practice. It is extremely strong. In addition to the key to open the barrier, if you want to break it by force, I am afraid that the strength you need is beyond imagination. 7 Tails Jinchuriki Fu blinked. Could it be that our 6 Jinchuriki can't break it even if we work together? 9 Tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto also immediately said quarters. Yeah. At this time, our joint efforts should be able to break the barrier, and I want to participate in the battle too. 3 Tails Jinchuriki Miru was a little worried. But Mizukage-sama ordered us not to go out here. Moreover, if we are captured by the Akatsuki organization after we go out, then all plans will be over, and the sacrifices made by those ninjas who fought to protect us will be in vain. I also want to go out and help fight, but the 2 were led by Wooden Golem. I understand what you mean. However, if the war is lost, we will also fall into the hands of the enemy. We are Jinchuriki, a strategic weapon to protect the village, representing the most powerful force in the village. At this moment of decisive battle, shouldn't we use our strength? 6 Tails Jinchuriki frothed. Indeed. I do have an idea. What idea? First of all, with the joint efforts of our 6 Jinchuriki, we will definitely be able to break through this barrier, but we can't all go out and leave some of the Jinchuriki here. In this way, if you win, you will have nothing to say. Even if you lose in the end, all the Jinchuriki will not be wiped out and captured by the enemy. The 2 were nodded by Wooden Golem. This is indeed a good way. Killer Bee said. Yo. Then how to decide who goes out to fight and who stays and waits, idiot, bastard, oh yeah. Miru immediately said. That's me, Bubble, by Wooden Golem. Then, the 4 of us went out to fight. Fu and Naruto stay alone. Uzumaki Naruto and Fu suddenly became anxious. Why? We're going to fight too. The 2, led by Wooden Golem, said. Mei-ru is right, you 2 are just children after all. Also, Naruto, you don't even have the power of 9 tails, do you? Uzumaki Naruto was taken aback for a moment, then lowered his head. Although Jiraiya taught him some ways to control the power of the tail beast. But his practice time is too short, and he has not fully mastered it. Of course Fu is the same. Bubble said. Okay, then it's decided. Now, all Jinchuriki, let's break out with all our strength and break through the defense here. Just when the Jinchuriki were trying to break through the defense and want to participate in the battle, the battlefield outside has already entered a white-hot state. Now, facing Pen 6 Paths, Chian Yu did not take it lightly. Pen 6 Paths, after all, is one of the ceilings of today's ninja world. And more importantly, Chian Yu knew that Pen 6 Paths was Nagato's body. It was just 6 corpses, but if he wants to manipulate these corpses and puppets, he must not be too far away from here. I am afraid that it is lurking near Turtle Island. Pain faced the man in front of him, the man who was known as the strongest ninja and the commander-in-chief of the allied forces of the 5 great nations. Of course, the same is cautious to the ultimate. Otherwise, Pain's 6 paths would not have been summoned from the very beginning. For a moment, Pain took the lead. It is still the first wave of offensive that erupted from the Beast Way. This is also a common method of Pen's 6 paths. The summoning beast of the Animal Way can be used in various ways such as offense, defense, and invisibility. Best used as a probing attack to initiate. Immediately. Boom. Summoning technique. Animal Road immediately launched the summoning technique, summoning a huge rhinoceros, a bull, and the infamous augmented hellhound. The first two are nothing more than large and powerful summoning beasts without any special abilities. But the amplified Cerberus is a monster that can proliferate and split indefinitely. Even if it is dismembered, it will turn into 2 or even more hellhounds and continue to besiege the enemy. Chian Yu looked at the summoning beast charging towards him, and just smiled lightly. This level of attack is indeed terrifying to most ninjas. Even for legendary ninjas like Sannin and Jiraiya, it is very difficult to deal with these summoning beasts. You know, before Pain, Jiraiya was already one of the ceiling-level masters in this ninja world. He was undoubtedly the #1 player in Konoha Village at that time. He has trouble with these summoning beasts, not to mention the rest of the ninja world. However, Chian Yu is not Jiraiya, let alone other ninjas. Facing the 3 summoning beasts, he didn't hesitate at all. Instantly raised his right hand. It was bursts of extremely freezing cold air bursting out. Shoot towards the 3 summoning beasts at the same time. In just a moment, whether it is a huge bull, a rhinoceros, or a hellhound that can multiply and split, they are all completely frozen in an instant, turning into ice sculptures, unable to move. It is impossible to increase the division of the Cerberus. After all, the whole body was completely frozen. However, all of this was within Pain's expectations. The legendary strongest ninja, if you can't even deal with a few summoning beasts, then you've seen hell. Now, the rest of Pain also shot at Chian Yu long ago. In addition to the Animal Way, the leader is the Asura Way. These are indeed among Pain's 6 paths, apart from Tien Dao, the 2 that are best at attacking. Shiradao pulled out his wrist instantly, revealing countless chakra missiles from it, and raised his arm high towards the sky. Countless chakra missiles burst towards Chian Yu's direction. This is one of the abilities of Shiradao, 5-finger missile. In the original work, Pain, who had just invaded Konoha, manipulated Shiradao to use this trick to wreak havoc in the village, destroying many streets and buildings. But facing the terrifying countless chakra missiles, Chian Yu still responded to all changes without change, instantly shot out streams of extremely freezing cold air from his fingertips, which also bombarded out like cannonballs. Freeze all these chakra missiles in midair, subsequently. Clang. Clang clang. The completely frozen chakra missile lost its ability to explode, and fell down like a piece of frozen stone, falling to the ground. Pain Tiondo said indifferently, "It seems that your ice escape is really as powerful as in the legend." This is indeed the first time Pen's 6 paths has encountered such a powerful enemy. Animal Dao and Shira Dao, who are best at attacking, attack at the same time. But it was completely cracked by the other party's understatement. Then, try this attack that cannot be frozen. Pain suddenly manipulated Shira Dao, and even directly opened the mechanism on his head, revealing the mechanism like a fortress. Buzz. Suddenly, from the mechanism in the middle of Shira Dao's head, a terrifying laser cannon shot out. This is different from physical attacks like chakra missiles. Instead, chakra is turned into a laser weapon to attack the enemy. Since there is no entity, there is no need to worry about being frozen by Chian Yu's ice escape ninjutsu. For a moment, the laser cannons were already firing towards Chian Yu. It is extremely fast, has no entity, cannot be intercepted, and cannot be defended. However, to Chian Yu, this was meaningless at all. Because he does not only have the ability of ice escape. What's more, even if there is only frozen fruits calendar, this laser cannon really pierced through his body, and it wouldn't cause any real damage at all. After all, he can naturally elementalize, avoid all damage, and recover quickly. Certainly, Chian Yu didn't do that at this time either. Instead, Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil power exploded instantly, and a part of Susanoo was activated for defense. Susanoo's chakra skeleton instantly appeared around his arm, turning into an absolutely defensive chakra shield to resist the laser cannon's blow. One of Susanoo's artifacts, Yada Mirror. At this moment, Chian Yu is already very natural and proficient in the use of Mangekyo Sharingan and Susanoo. Just as Uchiha Madara instantly used part of Susanoo's power to resist the water-style Chianbin spit out from Senju Tobarama's mouth, just like crying technique. It can arrive instantly and resist all attacks. Pain Tiando frowned. Susanoo's power? Chian Yu smiled. How is it, not bad? In fact, he didn't know how many ways to resist this blow. Susanoo was just more convenient and quicker. And Chian Yu also at this moment launched a counterattack against Pen's 6 paths. This strike is the fusion of Mangekyo Sharingan's Amaterasu and Flame Control. Arrow of Flame Control. A huge ancient Maga bow of heaven appeared, and then a chakra arrow, which was as black as ink and burning with the black and immortal Amaterasu flame, burst out. The goal is exactly Pain's way of heaven, however. Pain Tiando sneered, and instantly activated Rinnegan's pupil power. Shenluo Tianzheng, boom, boom, boom. Immediately, all the myriad phenomena around were blasted away by Shenluo Tianzheng. A huge deep pit appeared on the whole land. The same is naturally true of Chian Yu's flame control arrow. But Chian Yu showed a smile instead, because this blow of the flame control arrow was originally used to lure the enemy. Of course he knew that the Shenluo Tianzheng of Pain Tiando would have a cooling time of about 5 seconds. So, after luring him to use this trick, he activated his own frozen fruit power almost at the same time. Ice Age. Buzz. The frightening and frenzied freezing air shot towards Pain's 6 paths in an instant. Pain Tiando frowned slightly, and his face changed accordingly. The other party, assuming that Shenluo Tianzheng would have a cooldown time, launched 2 attacks in a row. Could it be that he is really omniscient as the legend says? Even the mysteries of Rinnegan and the weaknesses of Shinra Tenjin? In an instant, Pain didn't have time to think about it. Shenluo Tianzheng was still cooling down, and he immediately manipulated Pain and Kido to rush to the front meeting. Sealing Technique Printing. It is the unique ability of Rinnegan and Kido. Swallow and absorb all chakra and ninjutsu, even senjutsu chakra and senjutsu. Immediately, hungry Kido threw out both hands, palms slapping towards Ice Age. Even Jiraiya in Sage mode, and the Sage Art Goemon used in conjunction with Fukasaku Shima and Toad Sage, the kind of range-hungry Kido that is like a sea of flames. It can still be absorbed. Although the scope of Chian Yu's Ice Age is more terrifying than that of Sage Art Goemon, Pain is also confident that he can successfully devour it. However, the next moment, the hungry Kido who just stretched out his hands was completely frozen in the Ice Age, unable to move, let alone launch an offensive, and lost all battles. Fighting ability. The sealing technique absorbs seals, but it is completely ineffective. Pain Tiando suddenly turned pale with shock, extremely shocked. Chian Yu smiled slightly. This is a matter of course. Although Rinnegan is hungry for Kido's ability to devour all chakra, even celestial chakra, but what he uses as Devil Fruit's ability, there is no trace at all. Carrot. Not even ninjutsu and senjutsu. Hungry Kido certainly can't devour and absorb. At this moment, Ice Age immediately annihilated Pain and Kido, and even stormed towards the other 5. Pain Tiandao's Shenluo Tianzheng is still cooling down for 5 seconds. So he immediately manipulated Kido to activate the sealing technique to absorb Chian Yu's Ice Escape ninjutsu. However, he never expected that Chian Yu's ice ability is not Ice Escape, but the power of frozen fruit. There is no chakra at all, and it is not even a magic chakra, so naturally it cannot be absorbed at all. This also caused Pain's hungry Kido to be completely annihilated and frozen by the Ice Age in an instant. Boom. With a sound, Pen and Kido couldn't move at all, because of their fighting ability. More importantly, Chian Yu's Ice Age is still crazily spreading in the direction of all Pain. Pain suddenly turned pale with shock. Tiando immediately activated the Universal Pull, which suddenly attracted the other Pains, barely avoiding Chian Yu's Ice Age. Pain flew in the sky, and with the powerful gravity of Universal Pull, he attracted several other Pains to his side, making Chian Yu's Ice Age come to nothing. But behind him, the countless Impure World Reincarnation Army was frozen again. Pain Tiando frowned. The freezing ability you use is not Ice Escape ninjutsu? What kind of power is that? For the first time in this ninja world, he saw the power of chakra without using chakra and senjutsu. Chian Yu smiled slightly. Naturally he would not answer his question. Pain calmed down. No wonder you are so powerful, you really have many secrets that no one knows. Immediately, he erupted again with even more violent and terrifying chakra and power. Rinnegan's pupil power has even reached ultimate. Immediately, Pen Beast said, summoning out a huge summoning beast again. Summoning technique. Hell Crab. Summoning technique. Chameleon. Summoning technique. Yada bird. In just a split second, the animal road once again summoned huge summoning beasts one after another. Among them, the hell crab burst out with his own ninjutsu. Water style. Foamy waves. Immediately, a large amount of foam spewed out from his mouth. The scale and scope were huge, and they shot towards Chian Yu's direction overwhelmingly. This move was once used by Pain to deal with Jiraiya in the original work. While forcing him back, it also cleaned up Jiraiya's toad oil bombs from Conan and restored her mobility. Of course Chian Yu would not be trapped by such a trick. Immediately stretched out his hand and pointed, and the extremely freezing cold air burst out immediately. Even if it was foam, it was nothing but something produced by the changes made by water. In an instant, it was completely frozen by Chian Yu's extremely freezing air, turning into a solid sea of foam. At the same time, with a sharp and ear-piercing hissing sound, a huge 8-tag bird charged towards Chian Yu from the air. Like the hardest and sharpest steel giant sword, the huge beak slammed down towards Chian Yu. Chian Yu instantly fired the frozen fruit secret technique to explode the pheasant's beak, and immediately a huge ice bird counterattacked and flew towards the Yada bird. Chian Yu's ice cube burst pheasant's mouth was originally one of the abilities of the ice fruit. Can create a huge frozen bird to bombard the enemy. Aokiji used this trick against Ace's Mera Mera fruit ability in One Piece. Of course, Chian Yu is now using this trick, which incorporates his own Ryuchi Cave Sage mode power, plus his own ice escape power, as well as various other Hashirama cells, Mangekyo Sharingan, and even the Power Emperor of the Sacred Tree. The power is so powerful that it is no longer comparable to Admiral Aokiji. As soon as the pheasant-billed icebird came out, it immediately spread its wings and screamed. As if it had come to life completely, it slammed into the Yutaka bird fiercely. Boom. Boom. Immediately, Yada bird's giant steel mouth was bent and even broken by the impact. Boom. With a scream, Yada bird's entire body was smashed to pieces. But under the manipulation of Pain's animal way, he didn't disappear immediately. Instead, it struggled towards Chian Yu on the ground and laid many eggs. Of course, this is no ordinary bird egg. Instead, it will burst out a powerful explosion wave and a bomb with dazzling white light. But Chian Yu just waved his hand, and the extremely freezing cold air burst out immediately, freezing all the eggs, bombs, and all, and then counterattacked in the direction of Pain. As for the Yatagara itself, it was once again violently hit by the pheasant-billed icebird. This time, even the pheasant build itself was shattered into a layer of frozen body. Of course, the flesh and blood of the Yatagara is nothing to worry about. Down. Those who were directly hit were bloody, and those who died could not die again. Even before the screams could be heard, they fell straight down and landed on the ground. At this moment, those bombs were frozen by Chian Yu, and they counterattacked towards Pain, but at this moment, the cooldown time of Pain's Tiando Shenluo Tianzheng has already arrived. Immediately, another shot from Shenluo Tianzheng directly flew these bird eggs out, and exploded violently in the air. For a time, the explosion roared continuously, and the dazzling light pierced into the pupils, and the blasting airwaves made the entire battlefield feel the power of the impact. With a light wave of Chian Yu's hand, the power exploded, and all of these were blown away. But at this moment, Pain disappeared. Chian Yu shook his head. He knew that Pain was hiding in the summoned chameleon. This chameleon can change the color of its body and completely integrate itself with the surrounding environment, so as to achieve the purpose of invisibility. Pain hid in his mouth, making himself invisible. In addition to the heavenly Tao, the human Tao and the hell Tao are also hidden. Plus the hungry Keto solved by Chian Yu's Ice Age. Now there are only two Pain, Animal Tao and Shira Tao, left on the battlefield. These two are also Pain who is best at attacking and fighting besides Tiando. Human world is used to explore information, although it can extract souls, it is simply unrealistic to face Yu's strong man. The Hellway can judge the enemy, and can also obtain information, and it is also the key to resurrecting other Pain. But both of them are not very powerful, so Pain Tiando temporarily hid himself, plus two auxiliary Pain. Manipulate Animal Tao and Shira Tao to continue fighting Chian Yu. Tiando himself is waiting for the opportunity to find an opportunity to launch a killing blow. For a moment. Secret technique. Summoning amplification technique. .. This is the unique skill of Pain's animal way. As long as this technique is applied, all kinds of summoning beasts produced by summoning can multiply and split indefinitely. Amplified Cerberus is just one of the masterpieces. But now, not only the boosted hellhounds, but also boosted bulls, rhinos, hell crabs, centipedes, etc., all rushed towards Chian Yu. At the same time, Shira Dao also exploded with its own chakra and power. Mystery. Strange wrist rocket. Secret technique. 5-finger missile. Secret technique. Head laser cannon. At the same time, he launched his own fierce and violent offensive. The strange wrist rocket breaks his own wrist, controls the entire wrist and palm with the chakra line, and turns it into a fist to bombard the enemy. The power of this blow is enough to smash the boulder into pieces, and it can also smash the body of steel to pieces. The 5-finger missiles exploded with countless chakra missiles, bombarding Chian Yu in all directions, leaving him no room to defend and dodge. The head laser cannon is the fastest, most penetrating, and most accurate move. All of a sudden, Animal Dao and Shira Dao completely unleashed their own power. All kinds of offensives are coming towards Chian Yu's crazy bombardment. However, in Chian Yu's eyes, all attacks of this level were nothing more than trivial matters. He is still so indifferent, still responding to changes with the same. With a sudden wave of his right hand, the violent freezing cold air burst out again. This time, it filled half of the sky, immediately. Boom. Boom. The boosted hell crabs, bulls, bullfights, rhinos, centipedes, etc., were all frozen in an instant, unable to move anymore, let alone launch multiplication and splitting or attacking hills. As for Shira Dao's strange wrist rockets and 5-finger missiles, they were all completely killed by Chian Yu's extremely freezing air, and they couldn't even explode. As for the laser cannon on the head, Chian Yu created a creation like the ice crystal of the ice escape magic mirror with a simple finger, but compared with the transparent ice crystal of the magic mirror, the creation created by Chian Yu is more like it's an ice mirror. Not only is it extremely hard, but it is also crystal clear, enough to reflect all light. In an instant, not only did it intercept Shira Dao's laser cannon, it even counterattacked it. Buzz. With a violent blow, it bombarded in the direction of Pain's Animal Road and Shira Road. Shira Dao was taken aback, and immediately dodged out of the way, only to narrowly dodge. Boom. With a loud noise, the entire earth was blown out of a big hole. Chian Yu looked up at the sky. There was nothing there. But he said, "You don't need to hide in the mouth of that kind of thing, I can feel your existence clearly." Of course he was talking to Pain, especially Pain Tiando. The purpose is to tell him that the so-called chameleon stealth trick is meaningless in his eyes. Not to mention Chian Yu's Ryuchi Cave immortal art itself possesses extremely powerful perception abilities. Chian Yu also owns a full 5 Mangekyo Sharingan. For him to perceive the existence of chakra, it is easy and natural. Pain Tiando was taken aback, and ordered the chameleon to open its mouth, revealing its own figure. "It seems that the power you possess is indeed beyond my imagination." At this moment, Pain Tiando manipulated the chameleon, and appeared behind Chian Yu, who turned his head to look. Apparently a surprise attack had been planned. But even if Chian Yu found out, Pain Tiando didn't hesitate at all. Immediately, the terrifying Rinnegan pupil power erupted from behind. It is his trump card, Shenluo Tianzheng. Boom. 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 With a violent blow, the entire earth was directly blown away, turning into an attack like a sky-shattering earth-shattering attack, and scattered away in all directions. Under the force, everything is bounced away by the huge and terrifying repulsion. However, Chian Yu stood proudly amidst this terrifying repulsion, standing still without any intention of retreating. He still raised his hand and started his own ability. Freeze space. For a moment, buzz. The void in front was immediately frozen and turned into a solid, like transparent 10,000 years ice, which cut off all spatial fluctuations and made all matter, energy, and fluctuations cannot penetrate it at all. Although Pain Tiandao's Shenluo Tianzheng is powerful, it is nothing more than a repulsive force created by chakra and Rinnegan's pupil power. Now that Chian Yu has even frozen the space, the repulsive force of Shenluo Tianzheng can't spread at all. Immediately, everyone saw a miraculous scene. Shenluo Tianzheng bombed everything. But in front of Chian Yu, it seemed to have vanished into nothingness, and the whole space was calm, as if nothing had happened. Chian Yu is naturally safe and sound, unscathed. Pain Tiando suddenly turned pale with shock. "What? Have you cracked my Shenluo Tianzheng? This is impossible." Chian Yu smiled. "It seems that guy named Fei didn't tell you about my abilities." Pain Tiando was shocked. The last time Afe captured Seven Tails Jinchuriki, he encountered Chian Yu and was severely injured by him, but he didn't tell him any information about the battle with Chian Yu. Obviously, this pseudonym, Afe, does not trust himself at all with the man who calls himself Uchiha Madara. The power to freeze space. Unexpectedly, your freezing ability has evolved to such a terrifying level. Pain Tiando also immediately saw the mystery of Chian Yu's move just now. However, it is one thing to see through it, and another thing to crack it if you fight it. Chian Yu smiled. Not bad. In comparison, you really don't have much talent for developing Rinnegan. The so-called Pain 6 paths is nothing more than separating the abilities of various systems of Rinnegan. In the final analysis, it is still Rinnegan's own abilities. Summoning technique, chakra weapon, reading memory and extracting soul, devouring and absorbing chakra, judgment and resurrection, attraction and repulsion. It's not a power you develop yourself, but a power unique to Rinnegan. Pain Tiando was even more surprised. Why are you so familiar with Rinnegan's ability? Who the hell are you? 7. Chian Yu said with a smile. When I get in front of you, maybe you will know who I am. This sentence clearly revealed the fact that Pain 6 paths here is just a puppet. It also revealed the truth that Pain's real behind-the-scenes manipulator, the caster's body, is not here. This sentence made Pain, no, it should be Nagato, slammed into a corner outside Turtle Island. His eyes widened instantly. It's so scary. Nagato heard Chian Yu tell Rinnegan and his secret directly. Shocked for a moment, his eyes widened suddenly. In his cognition, apart from himself, there should be no other person in this world who knows the mystery of Rinnegan. Not to mention its own secret. However, in Chian Yu's words, it seemed as if he had said all of this lightly. This made Nagato feel unprecedented fear and crisis. Now, as Pain 6 paths, facing Chian Yu, he said in a deep voice, "It seems that you still have to die." Chian Yu smiled. If you can do it, just try it. Just when Chian Yu and Pain 6 paths started a fierce battle. On the entire battlefield, the battle of everyone else has also entered a fierce state. The master-student battle between Jiraiya and Conan soon tilted towards the victory of Jiraiya's side. Anyway, Jiraiya is one of the legendary Sannin after all, and is the #1 hero in Konoha Village today. Although Conan is very talented and has the secret technique of Grandmaster-style paper dance, after all, it is still too old and not as rich in combat experience as Jiraiya. The battle between the two is basically the same as in the original work. Conan attacks with various origami techniques, which are broken by Jiraiya's fire-style ninjutsu. Jiraiya's chaotic lionhair technique was also freed by Conan's secret technique of immunity to physical attacks. But in the end, Jiraiya still uses the toad oil bomb technique to crack Conan's origami secrets. If the toad oil is contaminated, it will not be able to continue to transform into origami, which will directly make Conan lose his ability to move, and naturally he will not be able to continue fighting. At this time, Jiraiya, if he uses fire style again, he may be able to kill Conan directly. But facing his former disciple, he still couldn't bear it. So just control Conan, and then prepare to reinforce other companions. Jiraiya looked towards the other's battlefield. At the moment, Hitaki Kakashi is writing the battle of the masked man named Afe. Jiraiya knew that this hooligan was the man behind the scenes who called himself Uchiha Madara and planned the Nine Tails Rebellion and killed his other disciple, Namikaze Minato. Also one of the planners and participants of the Uchiha Genocide Night. If it wasn't for Chian Yu's intervention, the Uchiha clan would have been exterminated by him and Uchiha Itachi. For Konoha Village, he is most powerful enemy and threat. For Jiraiya, he is also the enemy who killed his disciple. Therefore, Jiraiya's first target is this man. At this time, Hitaki Kakashi was gradually suppressed by the opponent's power. Although Hitaki Kakashi is powerful and famous, his Sharingan is the masked man, which is gifted by Uchiha Obito. No matter how you say it, after all, it is not the limit of your own blood inheritance. What's more, Uchiha Obito is also fused with the power of Hashirama cells, and can use the pupil power of Mangekyo Sharingan with almost no risks and restrictions. Hitaki Kakashi soon fell to the disadvantage. However, it is not easy for the masked man to defeat Hitaki Kakashi easily. After all, he is a man who claims to be Hitaki 50-50. And when Jiraiya joined the battle, the mysterious masked man felt the pressure even more. It is impossible for any ninja to feel at ease facing both Jiraiya and Hitaki Kakashi at the same time. Jiraiya said, "Kakashi, has his ability been analyzed?" Hitaki Kakashi said. Well, his trickiest ability is Mangekyo Sharingan Spacetime Ninjutsu, which seems to allow the body to hollow, avoiding immunity to any attack. However, I gradually have a guess, which just needs the help of my companions to verify. Master Jiraiya, help me. Jiraiya immediately said, okay. At this moment, Deidara is also in a fierce battle with Tsuchikage's son Wangtu. Deidara was originally a disciple of Onoki, a 2-scale scale. It can even be said that he is his most proud disciple. If he doesn't defect, he might even become the next generation of Master Tsuchikage. But now, everything is irreparable. Facing his former companion, Huang Shi also showed no mercy. Deidara's detonating clay secret technique is also inextricably tied to the Lois. Ordinary bombs can't do anything to a master of Wangtu's level. His earth-style technique is quite powerful and terrifying. Moreover, Deidara can't easily cast C4 Garuda. Because Garuda is an indiscriminate attack technique that does not distinguish between enemy and friend. Once activated, you can't help but control yourself. Both enemies and companions will be killed by nanoscale microbombs invisible to the naked eye. His other big moves, C3 number 18, County Self-Explosion, of course, are the same. Therefore, Deidara intentionally diverted the Lois away, preparing to fight to the death in other open places. At the same time, the Red Sand Scorpion is in a duel with Gaara and Kankuro. Although Gaara has lost the one-tail Shuhei and is no longer the identity of Jinchuriki, his strength does not seem to have declined at all, and even because of the loss of Shohei's interference, his power star is even more terrifying. It is more handy to control the sand to attack and defend in one. My own chakra no longer needs to suppress the rampage of the tailed beast, and it appears to be more abundant. Please note that Jinchuriki does not have to rely on the power of the tail beast to have chakra that surpasses ordinary ninjas. But the other way around. It is precisely because these people's own chakra is amazing that they can be chosen to become Jinchuriki to suppress the tailed beasts sealed in their bodies. The Uzumaki family is just like this, so they are called the best candidates for Jinchuriki. So is Gaara, of course. And Kankuro also summoned the puppets entrusted by the Chiyo mother-in-law, father and mother. This is the puppet originally made by the Scarlet Sand Scorpion. It also represents his deep thoughts of his parents. But for Kankuro, this is proof that Grandma Chiyo enjoined him to defeat the Red Sand Scorpion. And when the Scarlet Sand Scorpion finally summoned the strongest puppet, Third Kage, Gaara was completely furious. This means that when Third Kage disappeared, he really died at the hands of the Red Sand Scorpion. Immediately, the fierce battle between the three became more violent. And other Akatsuki members, Shimura Danzo, Kakuzu, Uchiha Itachi, etc., are also fighting fiercely with their respective opponents. The event that really turned the battle situation around in an instant was sudden joining of tailed beast Jinchuriki. That's right. The 6 Jinchuriki discussed together before, broke the barrier and participated in the battle, and now they have finally arrived on the battlefield. Combined with the power of 6 Jinchuriki, the terrifying destruction erupted, no barrier can resist at all. In just an instant, the result was exploded. Then, the 2 tails Jinchuriki consisted of Wooden Golem, 3 tails Jinchuriki Miru, 6 tails Jinchuriki Bubble, 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, all rushed out and killed towards the battlefield. 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu and 9 tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto were forcibly kept in the secret base by the other 4 because they were too young. As soon as these Jinchuriki arrived, the entire battlefield was turned upside down. Chian Yu couldn't help frowning slightly. He also didn't expect that these Jinchuriki broke through the barrier and rushed to the battlefield. But think about it, any Jinchuriki is not a tool either. They also have their own thoughts and wills, and they don't want to be imprisoned like this. Watching other people fight to protect themselves, they can only hide in the underground base. In the original work, Killer Bee and Uzumaki Naruto also broke through the barrier and entered the 4th Ninja World War. Thinking of this, Chian Yu could only smile wryly and shake his head. At this time, 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, with a roar, was the first to unleash his terrifying chakra and power. He turned into a perfect tailed beast in an instant and transformed into the complete form of 8 tails Gyuki. This violent chakra immediately shocked all the ninjas on the battlefield. You must know that Killer Bee is the perfect Jinchuriki as 8 tails. In terms of strength, especially destructive power and lethality, he is probably one of the best in the entire ninja world. Not even under Pen 6 paths. Just his joining alone is enough to change the whole situation of the battle. Not to mention, there are two-tailed Jinchuriki led by Wooden Golem, the elite ninja of Cloud Shinobi Village. Although his strength is not as good as Killer Bee's, he is considered to be the best of the best. And Three Tails Jinchuriki, Miru, is now a perfect Jinchuriki, and her strength is infinitely close to that of 4th Mizukage Yagura. Her strength is even higher than the two wooden golems. As for the 6 Tails Jinchuriki bubble, although it has not yet become a perfect Jinchuriki, it can also be transformed into a half-tailed beast, and with the help of the power of the tailed beast, it can explode into terrifying combat power. The joining of the 4 Jinchuriki immediately boosted the morale of the entire allied forces of the 5 great nations. As for the Shao organization, each of them looked very ugly. Although the target was these Jinchuriki, I didn't expect them to actually appear and even fight. Immediately, 8 Tails Killer Bee transforms into a perfect tailed beast form, and instantly activates 8 tailed beasts. Boom. 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 The violent chakra and power turned into an unimaginably terrifying hurricane storm, blasting away in all directions. The whole earth was overturned, the earth shook and the mountains shook, and the sky fell apart. And those impure world reincarnation troops were blown out in an instant. No matter who they were, they couldn't resist this absolute destructive power at all. Killer Bee shouted loudly. "This is the true face of my uncle. To scare you, 8 Tails Killer Bee is here, bastard, idiot, oh yeah." 8 Tails Gyuki immediately reminded him. "Okay, stop talking about your annoying rap. Those are the dead summoned by the impure world reincarnation. This power can knock them back, but it is impossible to kill them again. Use the sealing technique to seal those powerful dead." Killer Bee immediately smiled. "Okay, for a moment. Billions of angry slaves are annoying. This is exactly the same sealing techniques used by Killer Bee and 8 Tails. By turning the ink of 8 Tails Gyuki into a human form, the enemies can be fixed and restrained physically, and they can be completely sealed by restraining them for a few seconds." Millions of angry slaves counted on the exiled slaves, and the names sounded very awkward. In fact, the real meaning is the fixed meaning of octopus, which is very difficult to pronounce when transliterated. For a moment, the ink avatars of Killer Bee hugged those powerful ninjas from impure world reincarnation, and used their strong bodies to forcibly restrain the enemies. Then, after 3 seconds, these enemies turned into ink blocks that were completely fixed and sealed generally. Too admired by Wooden Golem. "Nice job, Van." She herself immediately joined the fray. And Miru also activated her perfect 3 Tails Jinchuriki mode, instantly entered a fully tailed beast form, and launched the terrifying water-style technique. Boom. 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 6 Tails Jinchuriki bubbles used chakra, a borrowed tail beast, and then used water-style bubble technique. Countless bubbles floated in the air. It seems harmless to humans and animals. However, once it touches the enemy, there will be a terrifying continuous explosion immediately. With the addition of these Jinchuriki, the whole situation immediately became one-sided. Yukushi Kabuto frowned. His face was dry and ugly. The most critical and powerful chess pieces of him were gradually sealed. It's not just a war that's won or lost. The sealed dead will no longer be able to be summoned using impure world reincarnation again. This made him feel bad, and at this moment, Might Guy also defeated Might Dai and Hitaki Tsukumo, and the sealing squad immediately rushed forward and sealed them both. Hitaki Tsukumo and Might Dai both smiled and said goodbye to Might Guy, and Hitaki Kakashi said that seeing the growth of the two now, "I don't have any regrets." And 8 Tails Killer Bee also sealed many strong men of Uchiha clan and Hyuga clan. Pain 6 Paths looked at this scene. His face became even uglier. The members of the Akatsuki organization were also resisted by the elite ninjas from the 5 great nations. Conan was even defeated by Sensei Jiraiya. And the powerhouses of impure world reincarnation were also resealed one by one. His own secret was also seen through by Chian Yu. If this continues, I'm afraid that I and the entire Akatsuki organization will suffer a crushing defeat. Thinking of this, Pain couldn't help but let out a roar, and finally prepared to unleash the last chakra and power. Chian Yu, it's time to fight to the death. Pen Heaven suddenly draws out all the other Pen's chakra and power at the same time. All gathered into his own body. Chian Yu naturally discovered this immediately. Because the other Pain lost consciousness instantly and fell to the ground, unable to move. In the original work, he did this in order to launch Super Shenluo Tianzhong and destroy Konoha Village to vent his pain and make the world feel the pain. But now, it seems that what he is going to launch is not the super god Luo Tianzhong. Pain Tiando concentrates all Pain's power on one person. Then, put your hands together. From his mouth, he spat out the ultimate killer's trump card word by word. Killer hit. Planetary Devastation. Nagato manipulated Pain's way of heaven, gathered all the chakra and power of the other 5 ways on him, and then launched his final killer. Planetary Devastation. However, his move was not to catch those tailed beast Jinchuriki who appeared suddenly, but to deal with because he understands that as long as he can kill Chian Yu, everything else is controllable. Otherwise, even if he takes action against these Jinchuriki, Chian Yu will never stand idly by. As long as Chian Yu is around, my plan will be impossible success. Then, boom, boom, boom. From Pain Tiandao's palm, a small black hole was created, released from his palm, and flew up into the sky. Then, the sun's rays were blocked, for a moment. Buzz. The terrifying gravitational force erupted like a real black hole, enveloping the entire land of Turtle Island. Next moment, boom, boom. The land, stones, mountains and rivers, vegetation, and everything that has been accumulated over the years on Turtle Island began to be overturned crazily, towards a small black hole in the sky and gathered crazily. This is Pain's ultimate move. Corresponds to Universal Pull's ultimate power, Planetary Devastation. In essence, it is still the control of gravity, but the scope and scale, power are by no means comparable to ordinary Universal Pull. Just like the Super Shenluo Tianzheng, compared with the ordinary Shenluo Tianzheng. Although the power and range of Planetary Devastation are large, it is also the target specified by the caster. For example, now, the Planetary Devastation of Pen Tiando, without a doubt, the core is in the sky above Chian Yu. It is also the place where the gravitational force of the small black hole of Planetary Devastation is the scariest. The entire battlefield stopped for a while. Everyone watched this scene tremblingly. The man who created a small black hole casually, the man who has the god eye Rinnegan of Sage of Six Paths, the leader behind these S-level rebellious ninja organized by Akatsuki. This kind of power is really like a real god. Jiraiya couldn't help being surprised too. Unexpectedly, the current Nagato possesses such terrifying power. The big-tailed beast Jinchuriki, including the elite ninjas of the allied forces of the 5 great powers, and other ninja allied forces, and even the members of the Akatsuki organization, saw Pain's full-strength attack for the first time. For a moment, everyone was silent, looking at this scene in shock. Certainly. More people are frantically trying to escape, avoiding the scope of the terrifying gravity of Planetary Devastation. Although the target is Chian Yu, the scope of this Planetary Devastation is amazing. There are still many affected objects. The entire land was overturned, and many people were directly swallowed and absorbed without any ability to resist, and then sealed in it by more landstones. Among them, the army of the dead used by Impure World Reincarnation is the most. After all, most of these do not have their own will at all, lack mobility and flexibility, and are most likely to be captured first by Planetary Devastation, but sealed by Pain himself. Yukushi Kabuto's face became even more ugly, and he immediately manipulated the most powerful pieces to evacuate from the range of Planetary Devastation. The same is true of the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries. The Jinchuriki also changed their expressions, not daring to approach the range covered by the black hole. Because the battle between Chian Yu and Pain was too fierce, and the moves of both of them were large-scale destructive attacks. So there is still a little distance from other people's battlefields. Although there are still places that are affected, but those who want to escape, those strong can still do it. Certainly. Chian Yu bears the brunt, naturally at the center. The ground under their feet immediately began to crack and disintegrate, and it was overturned directly, frantically gathering towards the small black hole in the sky. Along with it, Chian Yu's body was also sucked away by the earth and rocks. Seeing the terrifying, devouring gravity of the Planetary Devastation, once it is absorbed and sealed, I am afraid it will never come out again. All the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major powers couldn't help being very worried about Chian Yu. The Jinchuriki also frowned. 3 tails Jinchuriki Miru, 6 tails Jinchuriki Foam is even more complex. However, Gonshi Guishui and Gaidong Manue were full of confidence in their Mizukage-sama, they just smiled and believed that Chian Yu could solve this move. At this moment, Chian Yu's body has already involuntarily flew towards the Planetary Devastation. And Nagato, of course, also knows that Chian Yu is the worst enemy he has ever met. Then, Suddenly, he clenched his hands tightly and roared angrily, "Ah! All of the chakra and power are burned up," and burst forth. Even, at the expense of his own vitality, he wanted to use the killer feature of planetary devastation to ultimate. Boom. 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 More large slabs, earth, rocks, vegetation were overturned, fell apart, turned into hills, and frantically converged towards the small black hole. Chian Yu was also covered by complete oblivion. Not even his figure could be seen anymore. Master Mizukage. Three Tails Jinchuriki Miru exclaimed, worried. All the other ninja coalition forces also couldn't help but change their faces. However, at this time, Chian Yu finally made a move. In an instant, in the stunned eyes of everyone, it seemed as if they saw the real god descending, the god descending to earth. Chian Yu in the sky. With a wave. First, it burst out its own frozen fruit ability. For a moment, unparalleled ultimate freezing ability burst out. Buzz. Frozen desire. Freeze space launch. Then, the small black hole of the planetary devastation, with its terrifying gravitational force, seemed to freeze for an instant. It turned out to have lost that terrifying devouring gravity. The space around the small black hole is completely frozen by ice. Pain Tiando was taken aback. However, before he could be shocked, the next moment, Chian Yu attacked one after another. With the thought, have entered Sage Mode at Ryuchi Cave. Then, the ultimate mystery in Ryuchi Cave immortal art broke out. Sage Art. Dragon Transformation Technique. Immediately, the natural energy around Turtle Island, the so-called immortal chakra, was gathered here and turned into a huge immortal chakra dragon, roaring and roaring. It exploded in the direction of the small black hole. And that's not all. Chian Yu even activated Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil power casually. Moreover, it is the pupil power of 5 Mangekyo Sharingan all fused into one. This power is no longer under the pupil power of eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. What's more, he has also integrated Hashirama cells, making this pupil power even more ultimate. Susanoo. Flame Control Yasaka no Tama. Chian Yu fused Susanoo's power, Amaterasu, Flame Control, Yasaka's Guyu and other powers into one, and turned them into chakra shells burning with the inextinguishable Amaterasu black flame, bombarded by the small black hole of planetary devastation. At last, Chian Yu also incarnates himself as 10 Tails Jinchuriki, a small sacred tree that is integrated into his body, and the power explodes out, creating a terrifying chakra bomb like Xing Zhengyu. Essentially, it's a tiny 10 tailed beast bomb. Although, in terms of strength and size, it is still not as good as the real 10 tails, but in terms of quality, it is already the same. The small 10 tailed beast bomb also blasted out, blasting towards the planetary devastation. Just at this very moment, Chian Yu first used the ability of frozen fruit to freeze space, temporarily sealed the gravity of the planetary devastation's small black hole, and completely froze it inside. But the frozen space can only last for about a second after all. So then, Chian Yu immediately turned Ryuchi Cave's immortal technique Ultimate Dragon Transformation Technique, Mangekyo Sharingan's Ultimate Susanoo Flame Control Yasaka's Guyu, and even the power of the sacred tree that had just been fused and devoured, into small 10 tailed beast bombs, all heading towards the black hole burst out. Next moment, everyone in the entire battlefield seemed to have seen the creation myth of the creation of the world. Chian Yu's frozen space, sage art technique, Susanoo Flame Control Yasaka's Guyu, plus a small 10 tailed beast bomb, all while bombarding planetary devastation's small black hole. Immediately, boom, boom. The unprecedented terrifying explosion erupted completely in an instant. The sky was dark for a while, the sun and the moon were dark, as if the whole world was completely annihilated, swallowed, and destroyed by this explosion. Subsequently, it was an unimaginable terrifying roar that shook the entire Turtle Island and spread to the surrounding sea for thousands of kilometers. The dazzling light of the explosion made all the people on the battlefield unable to open their eyes at all, and even some ninjas who peeked were stabbed in the eyes in an instant. Not to mention, the terrifying airwave generated by the explosion itself instantly dispersed, turning the entire air into a tornado and spreading towards the sea. The earth even split apart in an instant, completely collapsing and disintegrating. Even the body of the giant tortoise, which was bigger than the entire ninja village, was shaken to the point of collapse. Pain's planetary devastation, of course, was cracked in an instant. And Nagato himself, who controlled Pen's 6 paths, was far away from Turtle Island, but he was also backlashed by the power of planetary devastation, Coupled with the impact brought by Chian Yu's forcible cracking of Planetary Devastation, he was severely injured in an instant, and spit out big mouthfuls of blood. He seemed to feel that his vitality had also been exhausted. And at this moment, everyone in the entire battlefield was shocked by the scene they just saw. Pain's power is scary enough. It has already surpassed the limit of ordinary ninjas. Even a legendary Sannin like Jiraiya is completely inferior. However, compared with Chian Yu, Pain's strength seems to be nothing more than that. Chian Yu's instant freezing of space, Ryuchi Cave's celestial art, Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil power, and the power of the tailed beast all stunned everyone. To know these abilities, any ninja who can obtain one of them is enough to be among the top powerhouses. But Chian Yu displayed all of them in one thought. It's like strolling in the courtyard, swaying freely. What kind of concept is this? This is a real fairy at all. In an instant, all the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries admired and awed Master Mizukage, the strongest of the 5 major countries. But the members of the Akatsuki organization turned pale, as if they saw the horror of a Shinigami. Their leader Pain's all-out killing blow was broken so easily. Could it be that that man is really an invincible existence? At this time, Pain Tiando looked at the planetary devastation that had been completely cracked in the sky, and fell into shock and despair for a while. The chakra and powers of the other 5 pens are completely removed. But now, they are all consumed by Pain's planetary devastation. Now Pain Tiando is also weak, almost losing all his fighting ability. And Chian Yu. Then he appeared in front of the extremely weak and only remaining Pain Tiando in an instant. It seems that this is your last strength, Pain. Pain Tiando couldn't help but let out a long sigh. Indeed. Master Mizukage, you really deserve to be the scariest person in the ninja world. Even Rinnegan, the Eye of God with the Sage of 6 Paths, my strength is completely inferior to yours. It seems that you have won this battle. Chian Yu smiled lightly. You are right. Everyone has their own path to choose. In the end, the fate of the entire ninja world depends on the strength of the individual. Now you have lost, and the future of the ninja world can only be in my hands. Pain nodded his head. Good. Mizukage-sama, my path has failed, and the ninja world will be left to you. Chian Yu said, I understand. He approached the last Pain Heaven, and stretched out his hand towards him. Pain Tiando still did not give up completely. A black stick appeared in his hand, and it rushed towards Chian Yu. Chian Yu grabbed the black stick in an instant, but then it pierced into his palm. Pain Tiando was taken aback. You. Immediately afterwards, Chian Yu used Ryuchi Cave's celestial art to backtrack to the location of Nagato's body through his incomparably powerful perception ability. For a moment, Nagato felt that he was completely locked in by Chian Yu's eyes. By accepting Chakra's black rod, using magic to reverse track my position? It seems that you really know the secrets of Rinnegan and Pain like the back of your hand. Chian Yu smiled. Next, I'm going to find you. He pulled the black stick out of his palm, and then pierced into the heart of Pain Tiando. Pen Tiando finally fell down. Can't move. So far. Pain, 6 Paths, annihilated. Chian Yu won the final victory in this Turtle Island decisive battle. And next, as he said, he will go to Nagato's body to settle everything once and for all, and then take the Rinnegan. With Pain's 6 Paths all down and wiped out, the battle between Chian Yu and Pain came to an end. However, it's not quite over yet. He also has to find Nagato's body, to solve all the things. But at least, the battle on Turtle Island can be completely declared over. Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki organization, just died on the battlefield. For a time, the entire ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries were naturally cheering and boiling. On the other side, the members of the Akatsuki organization were stunned and shocked. In particular, Pain is their leader and the strongest person in the entire Shao organization without a doubt. If even he died in the hands of Chian Yu, let alone others. For a moment, the morale of the members of these Akatsuki organizations has also dropped to the bottom. Even prepared to run away. Yakushi Kabuto was manipulating the Impure World Reincarnation Army, and he was also frowning. At this moment, his Impure World Reincarnation Army was frozen and sealed by Chian Yu's previous Glacier 10+ sealing techniques. Might Guy successfully defeated Might Dai and Hitaki Tsukumo, and was sealed by the sealing class. Coupled with the sudden appearance of 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, the powerful seal of the tens of millions of angry slaves even sealed several strong men of the Uchiha clan. Now the Impure World Reincarnation Army is also suffering heavy casualties. These are the things that Yakushi Kabuto lives and breathes. He was naturally distressed. Pen 6 Paths was killed all. Conan was also captured after Jiraiya's defeat. Deidara is besieged by Iwagakure's Lois and other ninja armies. The Red Sand Scorpion is also besieged by Gaara, Kankuro and Sanagakure's ninja army. Shimura Danzo is fighting the Darui of Cloud Shinobi Village. Uchiha Itachi, Kakuzu and others fought fiercely with the hunters from Explosion Styles World, and Shi from Cloud Shinobi Village. As for the mysterious masked man, he was besieged by Hatake Kakashi and Jiraiya, and gradually fell into a disadvantage. And, seeing that Pain's 6 paths were all wiped out at this moment, all the members of the Akatsuki organization knew that something was wrong. Immediately prepare to flee. At this time, the Shao organization is very tacit. The mysterious masked man immediately roared and unleashed his most powerful moves. Fire style. Bang Feng Ran Wu. In an instant, the storm created by Kamui's distorted space merged with the powerful fire style, forming a violent flame like a tornado and bursting towards Jiraiya and Hatake Kakashi. But Jiraiya immediately displayed his own fire-style Toad Oil Flame Bomb, which was even higher than fire-style Explosive Flame in terms of scale and scope. Hatake Kakashi also broke out his own lightning-style Thunder Beast Chasing Teeth technique, which merged with Jiraiya's power and resisted fire-style Bakufeng Luanwu. However, the mysterious masked man took the opportunity to disappear. Apparently unleashing his own space-time ninjutsu, Kamui escapes. Yakushi Kabuto also roared, bursting out all the Impure World Reincarnation Army with the last chakra and power. In an instant, gunpowder was everywhere on the entire battlefield, and all kinds of physical skills, ninjutsu, and ninjutsu burst out crazily. For a while, the earth shook, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked, and sand and rocks flew. Yakushi Kabuto took the opportunity and fled immediately. Others Kakuzu, Uchiha Itachi, Shimura Danzo, Deidara, Red Sand Scorpion and others. They all also unleashed their own trump card, temporarily forcing the enemy back. Then, he was taken away by the mysterious masked man with Kamui. The Impure World Reincarnation Army on the entire battlefield was also completely lifted from the summoning technique by Yakushi Kabuto, and their souls ascended to heaven again. The Battle of Turtle Island came to an end. At this time, 4th Raikage led the ninja army from Cloud Shinobi Village for reinforcements. It's just that, although he came here as soon as he heard the news, his speed was already quite fast, but he still didn't catch up with the war. When it arrived, Chian Yu had already killed Pain's 6 paths, ending the battle. 4th Raikage looked at Killer Bee, and suddenly said angrily, "Bee, didn't you tell me to hide in the underground base and not come out?" Killer Bee was about to say something, but was sent flying by 4th Raikage. This is how the two brothers greet each other. But 4th Raikage was also relieved to see that Killer Bee was safe and sound after all. He glanced at Chian Yu, and still said, "Master Mizukage, thank you this time. By Wooden Golem, and all the remaining Jinchuriki are safe and sound, thanks to Mizukage-sama." Chian Yu smiled lightly. "It's nothing, I'm also for Kirigakure, and of course this ninja world by the way." Raikage nodded, and Yu's attitude also changed. At this moment, with Chian Yu's order, the ninjas of the 5 major countries' ninja coalition began to clean up the entire battlefield. Although the Impure World Reincarnation Army's soul ascended to heaven, the call was lifted. But those are all sacrifices, although they have all turned into corpses at this moment. Some of them were completely sealed and could not be summoned again, and they were all cleaned up. Naturally, there were also casualties on the side of the Ninja Alliance, and Chian Yu immediately summoned medical ninjas to treat them. Chian Yu temporarily handed over the work of clearing the battlefield and counting casualties to 4th Raikage. He himself left temporarily to find Nagato's body. 4th Raikage led the crowd, and after clearing the entire battlefield, he began to count the losses of both sides. On Shao's side, Pain 6 Paths was killed by Chian Yu. Conan is captured. In Yakushi Kabuto's Impure World Reincarnation Army, Might Dai, Hatake Sakumo, Uchiha Tajima, Uchiha Kagami, Hyuga Hazashi and others were also sealed and could not be summoned again. The other members also suffered injuries of varying degrees of severity. As for the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries, the main casualties were ordinary ninjas. Of course, with Chian Yu's Ryuchi Cave group of snakes and Sage Arts Ice Escape Ice Dragon riding in front, these casualties are also very limited. The most important thing is that Xiao's organization's plan to capture the tailed beast has been completely declared bankrupt. Even the death of Pain Six Paths marked that the Akatsuki organization was facing a desperate situation of disintegration. And at this moment, Chian Yu rode the icebird and flew past, left Turtle Island, crossed the sea, and flew towards a desolate uninhabited island not far away. According to the chakra information transmitted from the Blackstick, he had already locked Nagato's body here. However, at this moment, in front of Nagato, a man's figure has appeared. It is the culmination of the Xiao organization. Of course, Chian Yu is probably the only one who knows his true identity at the moment. Nagato coughed heavily, and even coughed up blood. The whole person is skinny and bony, like a candle in the wind, ready to die at any time. He looked at the uninvited guest and seemed to have a premonition of something. Geez, what are you doing here? Ju smiled. Pen, no. You should still be called by your real name, Nagato, right? Nagato's expression changed. You. Ju sneered and said, you don't think that this Xiao organization is really controlled by yourself? After all, you are just a pawn. And now, your chess piece has been defeated miserably in Chian Yu's hands, and the tailed beast capture plan has completely gone bankrupt, and you have no use value anymore. Nagato coughed and frowned. You, who are you? He smiled and said, me? I represent the will of Uchiha Madara. A figure of a mysterious masked man suddenly appeared in front of Nagato. Is that man really Uchiha Madara? Over the years, Nagato has long doubted the identity of the mysterious masked man. Ju smiled and said, yes and no, however, no matter what, you are useless as a dying person. Now, I will take back my eyes for Lord Uchiha Madara. Nagato was even more shocked. You, what did you say? Ju sneered. Do you really think that you can awaken the god's eye of Sage of Six Paths, Rinnegan, with your own power? This is just a gift from Uchiha Madara-sama. Nagato was shocked. You mean, my Rinnegan is? That's right. These are the eyes of Uchiha Madara-sama. They are just handed over to you temporarily to use you for your own purposes. Your only value is probably the blood of the Uzumaki family, so you can use this pair of Rinnegans better, but now, you who have Rinnegans have also been defeated by Chian Yu. It seems that you are indeed really incompetent. Okay, now, give me the Rinnegan. Nagato let out a sharp cough. Are you with a man who calls himself Uchiha Madara? Ju said indifferently. Yes, and no, but these are none of your business. Nagato, you have only two values, one is to catch tailed beasts, and the other is that I don't need you for the time being, so just give me the Rinnegan. Nagato sighed. Of course he knew that his cooperation with Uchiha Madara was nothing more than mutual exploitation. However, he also sees himself as using Uchiha Madara. It's just that now, he has lost miserably in Chian Yu's hands, which makes him no longer qualified to compete with the opponent. But he also didn't want to give Rinnegan to anyone. Whether you and the masked man are in the same group or not. Rinnegan, I won't hand it over. Ju, I am also very aware of your ability, it doesn't seem to be a fighting type. With you alone, even if I am dying now, it is not something you can contend with. Ju sneered. Really? It seems that you are really going to die. You can't even maintain Rinnegan's pupil power. Didn't you realize that when I was talking to you just now, I activated the spore technique and lodged on your body? Now, your chakra has been devoured. If you want to fight with me, you probably don't have the strength? For a moment, Nagato was taken aback, and wanted to activate Rinnegan's pupil power, but he felt that all the chakra in his body was exhausted, and he couldn't use any energy at all. At this time, the spore technique on his body began to expand continuously, crazily devouring his last chakra and vitality, wrapping his whole body like a cocoon. Ju took the opportunity to approach him fiercely. Stretched out his hand, he dug down towards Nagato's Rinnegan. In an instant, a Rinnegan had been dug out by him. Just when he was about to dig another one, Nagato suddenly erupted with the remaining chakra and power. Shenluo Tianzheng, boom, boom, boom. In an instant, together with White Zetsu's spore technique, and Ju's body were blasted out, hit the wall heavily, and spit out a mouth of blood. Nagato also exhausted all his strength because of this blow. He panted heavily. Although I don't know your plan, it is impossible for this ninja world to gain peace in your hands. Believe in you and Uchiha Madara, or even that Zetsu. Ju spit out a big mouthful of blood, and said angrily, now I can't help you. However, at this time, a man appeared above the deserted island, and he was flying towards him at a high speed. It was Chian Yu. For a moment, both Nagato and Zetsu were taken aback. That is. Ju was even more shocked. He never expected that Chian Yu would find this place. It's even more beautiful to think that it will come so fast. In an instant, he immediately activated the mayfly technique, submerged his whole body into the ground and fled frantically. Don't even bother digging out Nagato's other Rinnegan. Because he understands that as soon as Chian Yu arrives, not to mention the other Rinnegan, even this one, even himself, will definitely die. I have to say that Ju's choice is extremely correct. Chian Yu fell to the ground in an instant. But seeing Nagato, who was seriously injured and dying, and a Rinnegan was dug out, he couldn't help but shake his head. Based on what you just said, I can spare your life. Chong, that smiled wryly and shook his head. I'm hopeless. Chian Yu, what I said was not a lie. What I want to do is to achieve peace in the ninja world. Even Uchiha Madara, it's the same. Of course, you also have your own choice to achieve peace in the ninja world. At the end of the day, we just do it differently. However, Uchiha Madara's approach may only be more extreme than mine. Rather than trusting him, it is better to trust you, no. At least you can compete with him, and let the future of the ninja world have a brighter future. Options. Chian Yu nodded and said, I can. Nagato smiled, tears of blood streaming from one of the empty eye sockets after the loss of Rinnegan. He didn't care, instead he poached his other Rinnegan. Then, I entrust this Rinnegan to you. I hope you can lead the ninja world to true peace. Although Chian Yu originally came to get Nagato's Rinnegan, he never expected that he would hand it over on his own initiative. However, as he said, maybe he just hopes that there will be another choice in the future of the ninja world. Chian Yu took it and nodded. Peace may be just an illusion. The end that can never be reached. However, I can assure you that I will do my best. Nagato smiled slightly, nodded, and then, the eye sockets that lost both eyes looked blankly ahead, and his head finally drooped down. Die here. Chian Yu also sighed. Looking at the Rinnegan in his palm, he gently fused it into his body. Immediately, Rinnegan's pupil power exploded with an unprecedented terrifying power. Looking at the dead Nagato, Chian Yu couldn't help sighing with emotion and shook his head. Then, looking at the Rinnegan in his palm, he activated his ability and integrated it into his body. Immediately, Rinnegan's pupil power exploded into an unprecedented terrifying power zone. This is a power unmatched by Nagato, not even Uchiha Madara herself. After all, the current Chian Yu has not only fused Hashirama cells, but also fused 5 Mangekyo Sharingan, and even fused the power of the small god tree in his body, which can be called a small 10 tails Jinchuriki. At this moment, coupled with Rinnegan's pupil power, the strength has truly infinitely approached the meaning of 6 paths. All kinds of Rinnegan's pupil techniques also flooded into Chian Yu's mind in an instant. Shenluo Tianzheng, Universal Pull, Planetary Devastation. Devour Chakra, Judgment Resurrection, Summoning, Extract Soul, Chakra Weapon. The current self can also create new pain 6 paths at any time. His own strength has once again increased to an unimaginable level. The only pity is that only got one Rinnegan. The other one was poached times ahead of time by Ju, who was lurking in the Shao organization. It seems that they had predicted that this battle would probably fail a long time ago, so as soon as the war broke out, they came to Nagato ahead of time to wait for the final outcome. If you win, forget it, and if you fail, prepare to capture and recover Rinnegan immediately. But Chian Yu didn't care too much. The current Akatsuki organization, even with Rinnegan, can't make any waves. Even if Uchiha Madara was resurrected, Chian Yu didn't have the slightest fear. Chian Yu smiled slightly, then looked at Nagato's body. He shook his head, but still frozen his body in ice and brought it back. Return to Turtle Island. Once again, Chian Yu, as the commander-in-chief of the allied forces of the 5 great powers, reorganized the entire battlefield, and also summoned Uzumaki Naruto, Fu, and other Jinchuriki who did not participate in the war. In this war, it can be said that under the leadership of Chian Yu, a brilliant victory was achieved. Not only did it preserve all the remaining Jinchuriki, but it also caused the Akatsuki organization to suffer an unbearable loss. The current Akatsuki organization, without the leader of Pain, has been unable to continue the complete Tail Beast capture plan, and the threat to the 5 major countries is not that great. And all of this is due to Chian Yu's strategizing, and of course his great strength. Chian Yu called everyone to discuss the next thing. Now, 4th Raikage has also changed his attitude towards Chian Yu. Because he saved the two led by Wooden Golem and his younger brother Killer Bee, he became less hostile towards Chian Yu, and even felt a little grateful in his heart. Jiraiya said, "This time the Battle of Turtle Island can be said to be a complete victory. Master Mizukage not only killed Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki organization, but also completely defeated the plan of the entire Akatsuki organization. The Akatsuki organization itself also suffered a lot of casualties." Chian Yu smiled and glanced at him. "Jiraiya, you also deserve a lot of credit for capturing Conan, a member of the Akatsuki organization." Jiraiya sighed. "Conan and Nagato are both my disciples. After all, I still have a lot of responsibility as a teacher." "But, Mizukage-sama, what are you going to do with Conan?" Chian Yu said. "Don't worry, just lock it up for now. The current Shao organization is indeed seriously injured, but it cannot be taken lightly. I got one of Nagato's 2 renegons, and the other one was taken away by another member of the Akatsuki organization. There will definitely be new forces in the future." In the first execution, although members of Akatsuki's organization were also injured, they were not killed, and there is still a huge threat to the entire ninja world. This Daybreak Alliance is not the time to disband. Fourth Raikage nodded. Indeed, the members of the Akatsuki organization are still there, and they must still be eyeing the tailed beast Jinchuriki. "Mizukage-sama, what are you going to do?" Chian Yu said. "Of course we will continue to follow the news of the Shao organization, but there is no need to talk too much. After all, the current Shao organization has suffered huge losses, and it is impossible to fully recover for a while. The remaining Jinchuriki can also go back to their ninja village. Of course, they still need to be strictly protected." Fourth Raikage nodded. "Well, I understand. Whether it's Wooden Golem or Bee, I'll send the best ninjas to take care of it." Chian Yu nodded. In fact, now, the remaining Jinchuriki are the 2 major powers. Erway and 8 tails of Cloud Shinobi Village. The 3 tails and 6 tails of Kirigakure. As for the 7 tails of Longyan Village and the 9 tails of Konoha Village, Chian Yu is essentially in charge. Chian Yu glanced at Fourth Raikage. "Besides, I have another proposal. On Turtle Island, there are real waterfalls, and a series of trials to become the perfect Jinchuriki, where Raikage's younger brother, Killer Bee, became the perfect Jinchuriki. And now, since the other Jinchuriki are also there, I wonder if the movie can make them all try?" Fourth Raikage's heart moved slightly. Mei Jinchuriki trial, Kekkei Village's secret method of vacation. Of course, until now, only Killer Bee has succeeded. But after all, it is a big secret of Cloud Shinobi Village. However, now he has no way to say no to Chian Yu. After all, they just saved Erway and 8 tails from Cloud Shinobi Village. What's more, if Chian Yu wanted to do this forcefully, he might not be able to resist it at all. He was able to discuss with himself, which was considered a great deal of face. So, Fourth Raikage nodded. "Okay. If all Jinchuriki can become perfect Jinchuriki, it will be a great thing for the 5 great nations. Also, I won't be afraid of the staring eyes of the Akatsuki organization anymore." Immediately, the other Jinchuriki were also overjoyed. Becoming a perfect Jinchuriki is the biggest dream of all Jinchuriki. Not only can you avoid the terrifying nightmare of being occupied by the tailed beast, but you can also become companions and partners with the tailed beast, fighting side by side, and your strength will skyrocket. Among them, only 8 tails Killer Bee and 3 tails Milu are perfect. The other 4 people, the 2-tailed Jinchuriki and Wooden Golem, have actually tried it, but they didn't succeed at that time. Of course, it is different now, and there may not be no chance of success. As for 6 tails Jinchuriki Foam, 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu, 9 tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto, I am eager to try." Chian Yu smiled. "Then thank you Raikage. If the remaining Jinchuriki can be promoted to perfect Jinchuriki, then the 5 great nations and the entire ninja world can rest easy." Then, with Chian Yu's order, all Jinchuriki went to the real waterfall one after another, ready to start the trial of perfect Jinchuriki. And his goal is perfect Jinchuriki for everyone. Chian Yu proposed the perfect Jinchuriki plan for all staff. Although Fourth Raikage was somewhat resistant, he couldn't refuse Chian Yu's previous achievements. Eventually, all 6 Jinchuriki made their way to the real waterfall. Prepare for a perfect Jinchuriki practice program under the teachings of 8 tails Killer Bee. As for Chian Yu himself, he was not involved in this matter. As the president of the Akatsuki organization for the decisive battle in Turtle Island this time, he still has many remaining things to deal with. One of them. It is the captured Conan. Although Jiraiya defeated her and captured her, he didn't know how to deal with her. Although he used to be his disciple, but now he has already become an enemy. So, he could only leave it to you to deal with. Soon, Chian Yu asked his subordinates to send Conan to him. Facing Chian Yu, Conan looked very indifferent. Before Chian Yu could speak, she had already said coldly, "Where's Nagato?" Obviously, she also knew that although Pen 6 Paz was wiped out, it didn't mean that Nagato would definitely die. For Nagato's secret, no one knows better than her. Chian Yu looked at Conan in front of him, and knew that she had already guessed the answer in her heart. She was an orphan since she was a child, and she grew up with Nagato Yahiko. Now that both of her companions have died one after another, the grief and sadness in her heart are naturally self-evident. Chian Yu didn't say much either. Instead, the scene before Nagato's death was played. This is one of the magic arts of Ryuchi Cave, the Mind Wave, also mastered by the White Snake Immortal. Through the control of Shienju Chakra, you can replay the picture you saw before. Conan looked at the dying Nagato in this picture, and couldn't help feeling extremely sad. However, she also heard clearly what Nagato said to Chian Yu at the end. Obviously, even if Nagato is on the enemy's side to Chian Yu, it's just a matter of position. Both of them want to achieve peace in the ninja world, and Song chooses differently. So even before his death, Nagato even chose to believe in Chian Yu, rather than the Akatsuki organization he created with his own hands, and the Uchiha, and Madara, who used each other behind them. Looking at Nagato, who dug out his own Rinnegan and handed it over to Chian Yu for safekeeping, Conan seemed to understand his good intentions. Nagato. In the end, Nagato died, and Chian Yu froze his body for safekeeping. After the screen ends, Chian Yu released Nagato's frozen body and put it on the ground. Conan was even more sad. Nagato. Chian Yu said, "He is dead, but his dream has not died with him. As his companion, I think you should inherit his will." Conan said. "Inheriting his will? That means continuing to be your enemy." Chian Yu shook his head. "Do you really think so?" Conan fell silent. Nagato said before he died that what he wanted was peace, and he worked hard for it, but after that, his choice failed, but the ninja world did not stop exploring the path of peace. If you really want to inherit his will, you also have two options. Conan sighed and whispered, "What choice?" The first one, of course, is to continue to return to your Akatsuki organization and continue to capture Tailed Beast and Jinchuriki. Of course, I think the Akatsuki organization is in a state of disintegration. Even if it is not, it may have fallen into the hands of that masked man. Although he also wants to capture the Tailed Beast, his real plan is completely different from yours. Even if you go back, I'm afraid you will become a thorn in his side. Conan was silent for a long time. She knew what Chian Yu said was true. Even if I can go back to the Akatsuki organization now, the current Akatsuki organization is no longer the one created by myself, Yahiko and Nagato. The man calling himself Uchiha Madara must have taken control of everyone. Nagato is dead, and he has no strength to contend with him. What about the second option? Chian Yu smiled. Of course we choose our position. What's your position? Good. Chian Yu retrieved Rinnegan from the fused body, and held it in the palm of his hand. This is also Nagato's final entrustment, isn't it? Watching Rinnegan, Conan fell silent again. Mizukage-sama, what are you going to do? To achieve peace in this ninja world? For Chian Yu, this question doesn't need much thought. In fact, those who talk about world peace every day will often end up going to extremes and distortions. Nagato is like this, and so is Uchiha Madara. As for Chian Yu, he is even more of a down-to-earth faction. As he said before, he says the same to Conan now. It's very simple. When you are in your own family, protect your own family. When you are in your ninja village, protect your own village. When you have a lot of power, you can protect a lot of peace. It's the most natural thing to do. Conan's heart moved. Although what Chian Yu said was simple, the truth was actually very profound. Moreover, she also knew that this man had indeed been doing this all the time. In the Snow Clan, he successfully saved all the clansmen. In Kirigakure, the place of blood mist was ended, and Kirigakure, which was on the verge of collapse, became the #1 power in the ninja world today. When Guardian Tail Beast and Jinchuriki became the presidents of the 5 major countries, they also went all out. Even as enemies, they are indeed worthy of admiration and respect. Conan said. So, if you want to realize the peace in the ninja world, you must become the master of the entire ninja world? Chian Yu said with a smile. It doesn't matter whether it's the master or the commander, no matter what you call it, it's the same. If I can control the entire ninja world, then peace can be achieved now. Even though I'm not in the ninja world right now, I've already achieved peace among my family, village, and even the 5 major countries, haven't I? Conan said. That's because of the common enemy of the Akatsuki organization. Indeed, but without Akatsuki's organization, the entire ninja world would be at peace now. Conan was silent. After a long time, he said, even if I want to inherit Nagato's will and join your so-called position, it is impossible for the 5 major countries to tolerate me now. Chian Yu smiled. What's impossible? With my words, you can make meritorious deeds. Conan glanced at the man in front of him, and couldn't think of any words to refute for a while. You really will give me such a chance? Certainly. Why force? Because I believe in you, the desire to achieve peace in the ninja world is true. Conan's heart moved, and he was silent for a moment. Then, he gently stretched out his palm, activated his own origami secret technique, created an origami flower, and sent it to Chian Yu. In that case, then I believe you too. I hope you can create a world where flowers will never wither again. Chian Yu took the origami flower from her hand and smiled slightly. Chian Yu subdued Conan, which made the Akatsuki organization lose another great strength, and also allowed his side to gain new strength. This also made Jiraiya very pleased. Namikaze Minato, Yahiko, Nagato, are all dead. But at least, he still has a disciple who can have the opportunity to correct the evil and make up for the mistakes he made before. Through this incident, Jiraiya is also very grateful to Chian Yu. The previous hostility was slowly resolved. Conan proposed to Yu that he should send Nagato's body back to Rain Shinobi village, and return to the old king with the dead Yahiko. Chian Yu also agreed. Not only that, he also hit the road with Conan. Of course, it's not just for sending Nagato Yahiko's body. More importantly, continue to track the traces of the Akatsuki organization. With Conan, the founder of the Akatsuki organization, the secret bases and underground strongholds of the Akatsuki organization can all be seen at a glance. As for Turtle Island, there is Killer Bee leading other Jinchuriki to continue the practice of perfect Jinchuriki. 4th Raikage personally leads troops to station here to ensure nothing goes wrong. And Jiraiya and others also continued to stay in Turtle Island to be on guard. As for Hitaki Kakashi and others, they left Turtle Island and returned to their respective ninja villages. Chian Yu and Conan embarked on a journey, at the same time. On other sides. In a secret stronghold, Ju found the mysterious masked man again. This is not the base of Shao organization. Rather, somewhere that Uchiha Madara used to be before. Only 2 people, Zetsu and Uchiha Obito, know. After experiencing the Battle of Turtle Island, the Akatsuki organization can be described as a crushing defeat. Pain is dead and Conan is captured. The other members also have different injuries. The Tail Beast capture plan was completely bankrupt. This forced Masked Man and Uchiha Madara's final plan, Eye of the Moon, to be postponed indefinitely. The mysterious Masked Man was extremely angry and unwilling. The hatred and disgust towards Chian Yu reached the limit. And at this moment, absolutely appeared in front of him again. Looking at Uchiha Obito, who was in despair, he smiled. Uchiha Obito, it's time to execute Master Uchiha Madara's final plan. The mysterious Masked Man, or Uchiha Obito, was shocked. What do you mean? Ju smiled. Of course it is to revive Master Uchiha Madara, to fully launch Project Tsuki no Mi. Uchiha Obito said in a low voice, now? The time is not yet ripe, is it? Neither Tailed Beast nor Jinchuriki were captured, and the situation in the ninja world is completely unclear. Reviving Uchiha Madara, it's not the best of times yet. Absolutely can't help but change his face. Uchiha Obito, don't you want to disobey Lord Uchiha Madara's orders? Don't forget. Your life was also saved by Master Uchiha Madara. Otherwise you would have died under those big rocks. If it wasn't for Lord Madara, how could you have survived and possessed such powerful power? He took out one of Nagato's Rinnegan's from his body. It was recovered from Nagato before he died. It is no longer possible for him to be a tool to revive Lord Madara. Now, only you can sacrifice yourself. Obviously, he wants Uchiha Obito to sacrifice his life, activate Rinnegan's Rinne Tensai technique, revive Uchiha Madara, continue to catch the tailed beast, and achieve the ultimate goal of Project Tsuki no Mi. However, he was indeed too naive. Uchiha Obito is no longer the naive boy he was back then. Good. He wants to realize Project Tsuki no Mi. But the executor and the person in charge must of course be yourself, not Uchiha Madara. So, of course he couldn't have sacrificed his life to resurrect Uchiha Madara. Ju immediately saw his hesitation. There was a shock in my heart, and I even felt a kind of fear. Uchiha Obito looked at him coldly. Absolutely, Uchiha Madara said that you represent his own will. But now I'm skeptical, is that really the case? Why do I always feel that you clearly have your own will and are not completely consistent with Uchiha Madara? It was definitely a shock in my heart. He didn't expect that Uchiha Obito was about to see through his biggest secret. In fact, this is not impossible. Although Uchiha Madara manufactured a masterpiece, he didn't let him stay by his side, and thought it was his own will. And Ju has been secretly monitoring Uchiha Obito to realize and execute his own project Tsuki no Mi. The one who really understands him best and spends the longest time with him is Uchiha Obito. Ju Shen said. What do you want to say? Uchiha Obito said coldly, nothing. But, if you really want to realize Project Tsuki no Mi, you can do it without Uchiha Madara, right? I can also be your partner. Ju was shocked. Actually, Nachiya Obito can't, because he is not the reincarnation of Indra. But at this time, Ju felt the killing intent lurking in him. If I don't agree, I'm afraid I will be killed by him immediately. Neither white Zetsu nor black Zetsu has much combat power in nature. At this time, he immediately understood that his only choice was to temporarily pretend to agree to Uchiha Obito, pretending to be false. Then, Ju smiled slightly. That's right. In that case, this Rinnegan is for you to use. In this ninja world, you already called yourself Uchiha Madara, now, no one will doubt you. Uchiha Obito took Rinnegan from his hand, glanced at it, and couldn't help but smile. Very good. My Kamui Mangekyo Sharingan pupil power, now combined with Rinnegan's pupil power, even Uchiha Madara himself, even that Chian Yu, is no longer a problem. Uchiha Obito laughed out loud. Immediately try to fuse Rinnegan's pupil power. His power, after merging with Rinnegan, is indeed close to the pinnacle of this ninja world. It is equal to the strength of the White Mask Obito during the Fourth Ninja World War in the original work. Looking at Uchiha Obito, who was laughing wildly, he knew that this man was completely untrustworthy. The only way is to find other people, other ways to revive Uchiha Madara. And in his mind, he already had a candidate. That of course is Yukushi Kabuto. As long as you find Yukushi Kabuto and secretly guide him to find Uchiha Madara's body, and then use the various secret techniques mastered by yourself and Yukushi Kabuto, you can revive Uchiha Madara in the way of impure world reincarnation. Only Uchiha Madara can grasp the overall situation. Get yourself the ultimate plan to get back on track. There was also an evil sneer in Ju's eyes. The parting of Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Madara is actually something that will happen sooner or later. It's just because of Chian Yu's intervention that this opportunity has been brought forward. Ju also discovered Uchiha Obito's ambitions in advance, and turned to use the method of impure world reincarnation to summon Uchiha Madara's plan. Now Uchiha Obito is looking for a way to perfectly integrate Rinnegan, so there is no time and energy to bother with it. Thus, Ju was able to start a plan to find Yukushi Kabuto, impure world reincarnation Uchiha Madara. At the same time, Chian Yu and Conan are embarking on a journey of two people. From the shore of Turtle Island, it is the land of Thunder Country. Afterwards, after passing through the land of Frost and the land of Tang, entering the boundary of the land of Fire, and then crossing the land of Fire, you will reach the range of Rain Shinobi Village. Rain Shinobi Village is always shrouded in continuous rain. This is not caused by Pain's Yuhu Zizai technique. But that's how it is. On the contrary, in the original work, the sunshine and rainbow when Conan died are rare beauty. Chian Yu and Conan stepped into the range of Rain Shinobi Village. Immediately, he saw the steel jungle in the rain. Sure enough, it was exactly the same as the Rain Shinobi Village in my impression. Conan looked at the rain in the sky, and couldn't help feeling deeply. The two came to the hut where Jiraiya had previously taught 3 disciples. The bodies of Yahiko, also known as Pentendo, and Nagato were buried in the backyard of the hut. It was here that they spent the happiest days of their lives. After completing these things, Conan seemed to let go of something. Rainwater in Rain Shinobi Village. She raised her head and looked at Chian Yu. Thanks for letting my dog do these things. Chian Yu smiled. It's nothing. What's next? Conan said. I will tell you about the previous bases and strongholds of the Akatsuki organization. However, if my guess is correct, I'm afraid those people won't go back. Chian Yu said. I think so too. However, at least some intelligence and data can be obtained. Then. In the days that followed, accompanied by Conan, Chian Yu visited almost all the secret strongholds of the Akatsuki organization. And take away almost all the wealth, resources, materials, secrets, etc. stored in it. Because of the fiasco of the Akatsuki organization last time, naturally no members would return to these places. As a result, all of them became owned by Chian Yu. At the same time, Uchiha Obito, who successfully fused a Rinnegan, activated the magic lamp body technique again, and summoned the members of the Akatsuki organization scattered all over the place. With the name of Uchiha Madara, he frightened everyone and once again gathered the Akatsuki organization. Only. Among them, Ju and Yakushi Kabuto have colluded secretly. Proceed to find dead strongmen of various impure world reincarnations. The most important of these, of course, is Uchiha Madara. After this battle, the entire ninja world not only killed Pain, but also severely damaged the Akatsuki organization. It has also eased the relationship between the 5 major powers like never before. Fourth Raikage has completely changed his attitude towards Chian Yu, and he no longer targets Kirigakure everywhere. Onoki, who has 2 scales, even if he has this idea, but they have lost the 2 big Jinchuriki, 4 tails and 5 tails, and they have no strength to compete with Kirigakure. As for Sanagakure, at this time he also understands that being an enemy with Kirigakure is just hitting a stone with a pebble. Although there is the hatred of the 4th Kage Luo Sha, he can only choose to endure completely. In this ninja world, this kind of hatred can be big or small. As violent as the 4th Raikage, in the end he chose to reconcile with Iwagakure, the 3rd Raikage who killed his father, and jointly formed the Ninja Alliance. What's more, which ninja village has not launched a war against other ninja villages, and has killed them? After the decisive battle on Turtle Island, Chian Yu's status as the president of the Dawn Alliance and the Ninja Alliance of the 5 Great Nations has not disappeared. On the contrary, the prestige and reputation became more and more prosperous. With the existence of Chian Yu, the ninja world has once again entered a period of comprehensive peace, stability and development. Completed the mopping up of various secret bases and strongholds of the Akatsuki organization. Chian Yu also returned to Kirigakure together with Conan. At this moment, Kirigakure has already flourished and has become the undisputed 10th most powerful force in the ninja world. Chian Yu finally returned to Kirigakure. Terumi Mei couldn't help but be overjoyed. Since leaving last time, it is said to contact other big countries to fight against Konoha village. As a result, too many things happened. From blitzing Konoha, to the battle of the 3-party allied forces, to fighting against the Akatsuki organization, Shimodarma and Ren. Let Terumi Mei have not seen Chian Yu's face for a long time. Back this time, Chian Yu came to Mizukage's office and gave Terumi Mei a big surprise. Chian Yu is not in Kirigakure, Terumi Mei is the agent of Mizukage, and naturally works in Mizukage's office. Seeing Chian Yu's arrival, Terumi Mei's face instantly changed from a shrewd and capable woman, Kirigakure's agent, Mizukage-sama, to a surprised and shy little woman. Chian Yu, you are finally back. Before she finished speaking, Terumi Mei was already hugged by Chian Yu. Throughout Mizukage's office, spring is once again in full bloom. After returning to Kirigakure, Chian Yu also began to vigorously develop the power of the entire village again. As the master of the ninja world, no one can stop his and Kirigakure's strong rise. Chian Yu changed the 1-year agreement with Jiraiya to 3 years. Uchiha Sasuke also received special training. In the next generation of Kirigakure, elites gather and talents emerge in large numbers. Chian Yu has also carried out special training and promotion for the major families, various blood successor limit ninjas, or various secret ninjas, so that all forces have developed rapidly. Many other small countries have also begun to completely surrender to Kirigakure. For example, Yuno Kuni, who used to soak in the hot springs with Tsunade and fought fiercely. It is very close to Cloud Shinobi Village, the land of frost bordering the land of thunder, and so on. Now, in addition to Kirigakure, Konoha Village, Yinin Village, Rain Shinobi Village, Longyan Village, Tanjian Village, Frost Country, and other large and small countries, shinobi villages, are all completely surrendered to Chian Yu down. It can be said that most of the ninja world has fallen into the hands of Chian Yu. Today's Chian Yu has undoubtedly become the veritable #1 person in the 5 great nations. Even, some believers who fanatically worshipped him called him Lord of Ninja World, Maru. Ever since Chian Yu was gradually called the master of the ninja world by the ninjas. Time is also gradually passing. Since these days, because the 5 major countries are relatively peaceful, and the Akatsuki organization has not launched a new war during the dormant period, the entire ninja world has entered an era of stable development. The previous perfect Jinchuriki trial on Turtle Island also had certain results, although it has not reached the real perfect Jinchuriki. But Kirigakure's 6 tails Jinchuriki foam has finally succeeded in being promoted to the perfect Jinchuriki. This is also a matter of course. After all, he has been training for a long time with the influence of so-called love in Yagura's perfect Jinchuriki practice scroll provided by Chian Yu. The trial of the real waterfall and the perfect Jinchuriki is just the final touch. And the second tail Jinchuriki of Cloud Shinobi Village, the second bit by Wooden Golem, has also successfully become a perfect human column calendar. Even Uzumaki Naruto, who didn't become a perfect Jinchuriki, mastered the 9 tails chakra mode. 9 tails chakra mode and Kurama mode are quite different. One is still an imperfect form. The 9 tails demon fox in the body will compete with host Jinchuriki for chakra, and it will still be life-threatening if used for a long time. And Kurama mode is the real perfect Jinchuriki. But anyway, even the imperfect 9 tails chakra mode has made Uzumaki Naruto's strength skyrocket to an unimaginable level. Compared with the original work, the time is much earlier, but it also lacks the process of practicing immortality at Mount Myoboku. But in any case, the current Uzumaki Naruto has quickly become a real top powerhouse. This is actually foreshadowed. After all, before this, Jiraiya has been guiding Uzumaki Naruto to master the power zone of the tail beast. In addition, his father, Namikaze Minato, had already made various mechanism settings before he died, whether it is the 8 sign seal, or the chakra of himself in Uzumaki Kushina, all for Uzumaki Naruto to master the 9 tails chakra mode. The foundation was laid. The only one that didn't work out was 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu. After all, she is the Jinchuriki of Longyan Village. Whether it is sealing techniques or the power of tailed beasts, Jinchuriki's research is far behind that of the other 5 powers. What's more, she is too young, about the same age as Uzumaki Naruto, and without the guidance of a famous teacher like Jiraiya, she will naturally fall behind. The end result is, in the current ninja world, except for the 1 tail, 4 tails, and 5 tails that were captured and extracted by the Akatsuki organization, the rest of the 2-tailed Jinchuriki duo consists of Wooden Golem, 3 tails Jinchuriki Miru, 6 tails Jinchuriki Foam, 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, all have become perfect Jinchuriki. 9 tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto also mastered 9 tails chakra mode. Only 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu is slightly inferior. After Uzumaki Naruto mastered the 9 tails chakra mode, Jiraiya took him to the ninja world again and continued to teach him his practice. The 1-year agreement between him and Chian Yu turned into a 3-year agreement. So there's still time for Uzumaki Naruto to get even stronger. Chian Yu was naturally not to be outdone. After returning to Kirigakure, in addition to rectifying various government affairs and vigorously developing Kirigakure's political, economic, and military strengths, he also attached great importance to the education of the entire junior ninja. Among them, of course, Uchiha Sasuke is also included. Until now, Chian Yu finally injected Uchiha Sasuke with the dilution of Hashirama cells for the first time. Before that, Chian Yu's attitude towards this matter was quite cautious. One is because the Uchiha family is a foreign family after all, and what kind of people the Uchiha family is like, and Yu knows better than anyone else. The so-called chaos in the ninja world, Uchiha has the final say, is not a joke. Before that, Chian Yu also had a mentality of investigating and testing the Uchiha clan, including Uchiha Sasuke. Secondly, because Uchiha Sasuke is the reincarnation of Indra, and Hashirama cells are derived from the reincarnation of Ashura, it is difficult to predict what changes will happen when the two merge. Although Chian Yu believes that only the fusion of reincarnations of the same generation can activate Rinnegan, or the power of 6 paths, this is only a guess after all. But by now, Taha had examined the Uchiha clan and Uchiha Sasuke. As for the power fusion of Ashura and Indra, Chian Yu can completely suppress it. Naturally, it was time for the experiment. So, he gave the dilution of Hashirama cells to Uchiha Sasuke, and under his own supervision throughout the whole process, he observed the changes of Uchiha Sasuke. Pinch for a short time. Sure enough, Uchiha Sasuke has undergone earth-shaking changes. First of all, Mangekyo Sharingan, who has finally awakened himself. Still the same Amaterasu and flame control as the original. Even, because of the fusion of Hashirama cells, compared to the original one, which is close to blindness after a few times of use, the current Uchiha Sasuke can be used almost unlimited. Of course, there will still be limits to pupil power and chakra. Although it did not directly evolve into eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, but the fusion of Indra and Ashura's power, it is natural to enter that step. The rest is just a matter of time. Even because of the effect of Hashirama cells, Uchiha Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan has just awakened, and it has reached a quite terrifying and powerful level. Outside of Amaterasu and flame control, directly awaken the power of Susanoo. Uchiha Sasuke was naturally very grateful. From this moment on, he officially worshipped Chian Yu as his teacher and became Chian Yu's first formal disciple. This also corresponds to the mentoring relationship between Uzumaki Naruto and Jiraiya. 2 years remain until the fateful battle of Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke in the Valley of the End. Chian Yu also decided that during these 2 years, Bao Zibo Sasuke's power will be brought into full play. And in the constant care and teaching of Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha Makoto also admires and appreciates Chian Yu more and more. Many times, Chian Yu would be invited to have dinner or even stay in his home. Gradually, there was a tinge of ambiguous feelings between the two. Uchiha Sasuke is no longer the ignorant and innocent boy he was back then. However, he didn't have any intention of resisting. Even, I always take it for granted. In his mind, there are only 2 goals. One is in the Valley of the End, defeating Uzumaki Naruto. The other one, of course, was the 2 executioners who killed their own family and caused the entire Uchiha family to suffer horrific casualties, almost exterminating the whole family. Uchiha Itachi, and the masked man who calls himself Uchiha Madara. 2 years passed quickly. However, just when Chian Yu was about to complete the agreement with Jiraiya in the Battle of the Valley of the End. In addition, a major event that broke out suddenly made all this can only be completely postponed for the time being. Now, Shao Organization, a new secret base. The mysterious masked man is calling everyone to discuss important matters. At this time, the Akatsuki organization, under the reconvening of the mysterious masked man who called himself Uchiha Madara, seemed to have regained a bit of history. Shimura Danzo, Uchiha Itachi, Kakuzu, Red Sand Scorpion, Deidara, Ju, Yukushi Kabuto. All here. The mysterious masked man said coldly, for these years, under the pressure of Chian Yu, our Shao organization can only hide around and dare not show up at all. This is a disgrace to everyone in the Akatsuki organization. However, it's all over now, it's time to get rid of the shame. The other Akatsuki members sighed, as if they didn't take it seriously. Shimura Danzo snorted directly. Even if you say like that, the current 5 major countries, especially Kirigakure and Chian Yu, will only be more powerful and terrifying than 2 years ago. With our current strength, what can we do? The mysterious masked man glanced at him. Shimura Danzo, it seems that you are really dying. Now you don't have any ambitions and desires at all, you are just a walking dead. If that's the case, I don't mind killing you anytime. Shimura Danzo fell silent for a moment. Although he suspects that the masked man is not Uchiha Madara at all, one thing is certain, even if this is the case, he is not the masked man's opponent. Of course, Shimura Danzo also has his own cards. That is Uchiha Shisui's distinguished heavenly gods. He even once thought about using this killer trick to deal with the masked man and let the Shao organization obey him. Until, the masked man showed Rinnegan's pupil power in front of everyone. This made Shimura Danzo give up the idea for an instant. Even Uchiha Shisui's distinguished heavenly gods, known as the pupil power of the ultimate illusion, against Sage of Six Paths God I Rinnegan, I am afraid there is no chance of winning. Shimura Danzo could only let go of his ambitions and linger on in the Akatsuki organization. The mysterious masked man said coldly, however, I also understand what you mean. Chian Yu, who is now known as the master of the ninja world, indeed has a force area that is difficult to contend with. However, my strength is also growing every moment. What's more, we now have a new powerful force. For a moment, the mysterious masked man showed all his achievements in the past 2 years. In addition to fully merging and mastering Rinnegan's pupil power, even produced and cultivated 100,000 white Zetsu army. That's right, This is exactly what the mysterious masked man has been doing for a while. Use the Geto statue to create an army of 100,000 white Zetsu. Among them, the power of Hashirama cells is even incorporated, enhancing the strength of each individual white Zetsu. Looking at this terrifying power, all the members of the Akatsuki organization turned pale with fright. The mysterious masked man looked at everyone's expressions with satisfaction. Now, you should understand my power. Shao organization is bound to make a comeback. And this time, it will be the final decisive battle. Many members of the Akatsuki organization, indeed, had a little more confidence because of the appearance of the 100,000 white Zetsu army. And when these Akatsuki members left, Yakushi Kabuto stayed. The mysterious masked man glanced at him. Yakushi Kabuto, what do you want to do? Yakushi Kabuto smiled slightly. I didn't expect you to create an army of 100,000 white Zetsu, it is indeed quite powerful. However, I also have a big gift for you. The mysterious masked man's heart twitched slightly. Oh. Is it the new Impure World Reincarnation Army? Indeed, this is exactly what our Akatsuki organization needs. Yakushi Kabuto shook his head. Yes, and no. Or, more than that. For a moment, he slammed into reanimation jutsu again. Immediately, coffins burst out of the ground, rising from the ground. It is the dead powerhouses that were not sealed before, of course, there are also many newly discovered and more terrifying powerhouses. Among them, even the strongest Tsuchikage 2nd generation Mu Wu, the strongest Mizukage 2nd generation Mu Gui Jian Huan Yu, the strongest Reikage 3rd generation Mui and other peerless powerhouses. However, although these are enough to sweep the entire ninja world, they are still not enough to impress the mysterious masked man. At this time, Yakushi Kabuto finally clapped his hands again. Da! The last coffin burst out of the ground. The coffin lid opened even more abruptly. The original disdainful eyes of the mysterious masked man suddenly became terrified, already. This is. Yakushi Kabuto smiled slightly. How about it, isn't it a surprise, Master Uchiha Madara? The mysterious masked man looked at the man inside the coffin. Eyes still closed at this moment. However, the unimaginable majesty of terror and haki, the powerful force that crushes the entire ninja world, seems to be rushing towards the face, shocking the soul. Because this man is exactly Uchiha Madara. That's right, the real Uchiha Madara. Over the years, under the guidance of Black Zetsu, Yakushi Kabuto not only found many other powerful men who died, but most importantly, of course, he found Uchiha Madara himself. Since the last Uchiha Obito's betrayal, Black Zetsu naturally changed his plans immediately. Since the Rinne Tensai technique cannot be activated, then use reanimation jutsu to make Uchiha Madara descend. 4. He guided Yakushi Kabuto, let him discover Uchiha Madara's body, and based on Yakushi Kabuto's highest precision reanimation jutsu, plus Black Zetsu's own various secret techniques, and various powers obtained from Uchiha Madara, all merge into one. Made this impure world reincarnation Uchiha Madara in peak condition. Impure world reincarnation, generally summoning the deceased at the age of death. But this Uchiha Madara seems to be in the prime of life, not at all the old man with gray hair and wrinkled face before he died. This is the perfect masterpiece of Yakushi Kabuto and Black Zetsu. More importantly, under the control of Yakushi Kabuto, this Uchiha Madara opened his eyes suddenly. Those eyes Rinnegan, for a moment. The whole body of the mysterious masked man, or Uchiha Obito, trembled violently. Why, how could? Yakushi Kabuto, how did you do it? Yakushi Kabuto smiled slightly. What, are you surprised? Master Uchiha Madara? This is the theoretical knowledge inherited from Mr. Orochimaru, plus the result of my hard work and research over the years. Uchiha Obito was shocked. This was completely unexpected and even disrupted all his plans. Because the real Uchiha Madara has completely descended into the ninja world. Facing the impure world reincarnation, Uchiha Madara suddenly appeared. The mysterious masked man or Uchiha Obito completely fell into a deep shock. And at this moment, Uchiha Madara snapped his eyes open. It is the second man who really awakened Rinnegan besides Sage of Six Paths. He looked at Uchiha Obito coldly, and said in a deep voice, Obito, it seems that you really betrayed me. My plan back then was to let Nagato possess Rinnegan, and let you execute Project Tsuki no Mi in my name, capture the tail beast, and force Nagato to activate the Rinne Tensai technique to revive me at the right time. But now it seems that the plan to catch the tailed beast has completely stagnated, and the plan to resurrect me seems to be completely unwilling to be carried out by you. Cold sweat suddenly broke out on Uchiha Obito's forehead. Uchiha Madara, I didn't expect you to appear in this way. Uchiha Madara said coldly. HMPH, if I don't show up again, I'm afraid you will completely forget me as a lifesaver? Even, what project Tsuki no Mi will be left behind by you? Uchiha Obito gradually calmed down. You were wrong, Uchiha Madara. Maybe I really don't want you to be resurrected so early, but I will definitely implement Project Tsuki no Mi. I can't bear to see this hopeless world for a long time. Uchiha Madara sneered. Maybe you will execute it, but you have to control it yourself, not me, the real Uchiha Madara, right? Uchiha Obito was silent, representing acquiescence. Uchiha Madara said, although I also guessed that such a day would come, I didn't expect it to come so soon, Uchiha Obito. You are no longer the naive boy you were back then. That's what you taught, Kwang Kaipo Madara. Ha 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 ha, well said. However, I don't blame you, because if it were me, I would probably do the same. It can only be said that what you inherited is not only my name, Uchiha Madara, but also my meaning. He kicked off the coffin lid of Impure World Reincarnation and strode out. He casually sat on the throne of the leader of the Akatsuki organization. The long black hair flew up slightly. A pair of Rinnegan's exudes a terrifying light that looks down upon the world. Uchiha Obito frowned slightly, but he didn't say anything. Uchiha Obito, I will not blame you for disobeying my orders, and I will not take any punitive measures against you. After all, you are another Uchiha Madara. I still need you to help me with many things. Uchiha Obito asked. Like, for example, declare war on the 5 major countries, no, on the entire ninja world. This time, I will solve all problems once and for all. Whether Tailed Beast or Project Tsuki no Mi, it must be fully realized. Uchiha Obito said. That's what I intended. Uchiha Madara sneered. It's a pity that your strength is still not as good as it is. Yukushi Kabuto has already told me that there is a man named Chian Yu in the current ninja world, and he is even called the master of the ninja world. He defeated you time and time again, defeated the entire Akatsuki organization, made the Tailed Beast capture plan, and the entire project Tsuki no Mi go bankrupt again and again, didn't he? Hearing Chian Yu's name, Uchiha Obito couldn't help itching his teeth with hatred and clenched his fists. Uchiha Madara said coldly, indeed, I didn't expect that besides Hashirama, there would be such a powerful existence in this ninja world. So, I can't completely blame you, although your incompetence really disappointed me. But this time, I, Uchiha Madara, will end his reign myself. Master of the ninja world. This title, not even Hashirama deserves it. He is too naive, too cowardly, and too trusting. Only I, Uchiha Madara, deserve the title of a real ninja. Yukushi Kabuto smiled slightly, that's true. Uchiha Obito gave him a cold look, but still said in a deep voice, Uchiha Madara, what are you going to do? Uchiha Madara said, the current ninja world has been peaceful for too long. It's time for a new war. Uchiha Obito, I know that the current Mizukage Chian Yu is initiating a new 5 Kages conference in the name of the Lord of the Ninja World to discuss the development of the 5 major circles in the entire ninja world. Now, in the name of Uchiha Madara, I want you to officially declare war on the 5 great nations in the entire ninja world. Either, they hand over Chian Yu and all the remaining tailed beast Jinchuriki, or just get ready for my real wrath, Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Obito's heart skipped a beat. I was going to do it. However, Uchiha Madara, you should have heard from Yukushi Kabuto, the man named Chian Yu, how powerful and terrifying he is. Do you really have the certainty of victory to deal with him? Uchiha Madara burst out laughing. Uchiha Obito, it seems that you still don't know anything about my power. Now even if Hashirama is resurrected, it doesn't make any sense, let alone a kid born out of nowhere. Uchiha Obito couldn't help sneering in his heart. Back then, I thought so too, but ended up in such a tragic situation. Uchiha Madara is indeed powerful, but with his conceited character, I'm afraid there may not be any good ending. But he didn't defy Uchiha Madara. Good. Leave this matter to me. Uchiha Madara said coldly, Hashirama, the ninja order you created has been completely defeated. Now, it's my turn to decide the fate of the entire ninja world. Project Tsuki no Mi, from now on, officially launched. Now. 5 Shadows Conference. In the past 2 years, the major countries in the entire ninja world have achieved peace, stability, and rapid development. This has to be said to be thanks to Chian Yu. Therefore, the title of the Lord of the Ninja World is becoming more and more worthy of the name. This time at the Five Kages conference, except for Sanagakure who has a new 5th Kage Gaara, everyone else is still an old face. Kirigakure, 5th Mizukage Chian Yu. Konoha Village, 5th Hokage Tsunade. Iwagakure, 3rd generation self-shadowed 2 scales, Ono. Cloud Shinobi Village, 4th Raikage I. Sanagakure, 5th Kage Gaara. When Chian Yu is not in Kirigakure, Mizukage Terumi Mei is still in charge of everything. Different from the previous ones, Chian Yu did not bring Ghost Lantern Full Moon and Hoshigaki Kisame this time. Instead, it was replaced by a younger generation of Kirigakure ninjas. Kagaya Kimimaro, and No Understanding. At this moment, these young ninjas who were originally children have already become the true elites who are in charge of their own work. Especially Shui Wu Yu Bai, who has long lost the childishness of the past, and has become a gentle and hearty girl with a beautiful and refined appearance. The current Kagaya Kimimaro and Minazuki Shiro are both 18 years old. Completely adult-like. Among the young ninjas of Kirigakure's generation, Kagaya Kimimaro, Minazuki Shiro, Chojuro, Onito Mizugetsu, Earth Spider Hotaru and others are all 18 years old. And the only 1 year older than them is Jongwoo. As for Uchiha Sasuke, Xianglin and others are 2 years younger than them, just 16 years old this year. Of course, 16 years old is not too young. After all, in the original work, in the 4th Ninja World War, the 2 Naruto who destroyed the world were only 16 years old. About the same age as now. In fact, the most powerful of this generation of young Kirigakure ninjas is already Uchiha Sasuke. After all, he has fused Hashirama cells, superimposed the power of Ashura and Indra, and opened the power of Mangekyo Sharingan, Amaterasu, Flame Control, Susanoo or Fully Awakened. Even, it is not far from opening the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. But his identity was a bit sensitive after all, so Chian Yu didn't bring him here. Instead, Kagaya Kimimaro and Minazuki Shiro, 2 young ninjas who are second only to Uchiha Sasuke in strength, were chosen. This also represents the renewal of the entire ninja world. Tsunade's Hokage guards are still Hitaki Kakashi and Might Guy. Sanagakure's new 5th Kage Gaara, of course, is Tamari and Konkuro. Onogi's Tsuchikage guards are the same terracotta and black soil as the original. 4th Raikage is also Darui and Shi. This time Chian Yu convened the 5 Kages to open the 5 Kages conference. On the one hand, it was to summarize the development and changes of the major countries in the entire ninja world over the years, and on the other hand, it was also to deal with the upcoming new crisis. He had a premonition that that man might also appear soon. Really. The 5 Kages conference is in progress. Just as the 5 Kages were discussing their future decisions. In the conference room, the void suddenly began to twist, rippling like Uzumaki ripples. Subsequently, sure enough, the mysterious masked man reappeared. Chian Yu sighed, and the timing was not much different from the time it appeared in the original work. Although I have changed the history of the ninja world, some things still cannot be changed. The expressions of the other 4 shadow and 5 shadow guards suddenly changed, and chakra and power broke out immediately, and they entered a fighting and alert posture. However, the mysterious masked man just waved his hand. Don't worry, I didn't come here this time to fight you. I just want to come and discuss with you about the future of the world. Onogi, the 2-day scale, sneered. What are your qualifications? The mysterious masked man glanced at him. Am I eligible? Is the name Uchiha Madara okay? Onogi was stunned for a moment. For a while, I really couldn't refute. After all, the name of Uchiha Madara alone is enough to suppress the entire ninja world. And the 2-day scale Onoki met Uchiha Madara. When I was still a teenager, I fought against Uchiha Madara together with my master second Tsuchikage, and was beaten severely. It can be called the shame and psychological shadow of 10 lives. Naturally, there was no way to refute the other party so heartily at this time. However, Chian Yu smiled slightly. Uchiha Madara's name does have this qualification. But the thing is, you're not Uchiha Madara. The mysterious masked man's face suddenly changed. You. Chian Yu laughed and said, your tricks should be over. Uchiha Madara, who has been pretending for so long, should act in his own identity, right? Though, it doesn't make any difference to me who you are. But now, I'm afraid the real Uchiha Madara has been revived? Chian Yu's words immediately surprised the mysterious masked man and all Wukage and Wukage guards. First of all, the identity of the mysterious masked man was finally fully confirmed by Chian Yu. He is not Uchiha Madara. But what is even more shocking is that the real Uchiha Madara has also been resurrected. This is by no means a good thing for the entire ninja world. One Uchiha Madara is scary enough, and now there are two. Fourth Raikage was also shocked. Master Mizukage, what are you talking about? There are two Uchiha Madara. Chian Yu said. No, there is only one. The man in front of me is just a puppet of Uchiha Madara. Tsunade nodded and said, I see. I feel that this Uchiha Madara is not as haughty as in the legend. Hitaki Kakashi behind her also nodded. Indeed, there is still a big difference in character. So, Mizukage-sama, who is the man in front of you? Chian Yu smiled. The answer to this question is waiting for you to reveal it yourself, Yinkashi. Hitaki Kakashi was shocked. This is not the first time Chian Yu has said this. Gaara said for the first time. Whether you are Uchiha Madara or not, you must be on the same side as him. So, what is your purpose in coming today? Everyone looked at the mysterious masked man. The mysterious masked man has not recovered from the shock of Chian Yu revealing his identity and knowing that Uchiha Madara has been resurrected. Hearing Gaara's question, he could only force himself to calm down. It's very simple, I want to tell you, Uchiha Madara's ultimate plan. That is, Project Tsuki no Mi. Then, the mysterious masked man revealed all the secrets and truths of Project Tsuki no Mi. From catching tail beasts, to resurrecting 10 tails, to launching infinite Tsukuyomi, the entire ninja world is forcibly pulled into a fantasy world full of infinite fantasy. At that time, everyone will be happy in that world of infinite dreams. And this ninja world will never have war and hatred again. After listening to Uchiha Madara's Project Tsuki no Mi, everyone was shocked. Fourth Raikage was the first to attack, slamming the table and shouting, this is nonsense. If everyone enters the illusion world, can the ninja world achieve peace? What's the point of this peace? Onogi also said, indeed, it's better to let Uchiha Madara kill everyone, and the ninja world will be at peace. It's much safer than Project Tsuki no Mi. Tsunade also said angrily, this is nothing but self-deceiving peace. Gaara also said calmly, the so-called Uchiha Madara, is this the way that the so-called Uchiha Madara thought of to make the ninja world peaceful? It makes me very disappointed. Chian Yu smiled and said, you have also seen it, masked man. It seems that your plan with Uchiha Madara will not work with us at all. The mysterious masked man sneered, if that's the case, then there's nothing much to say. Everything depends on war. Well, I'm here to declare. The Fourth Ninja World War is officially open. The mysterious masked man announced the start of the Fourth Ninja World War in public at the Five Cages conference. For a moment, Wang couldn't help but change his expression. Onogi said with a sneer, masked man, although you are talking nonsense here, don't you think that the current Akatsuki organization can still compete against the entire 5 major powers, or even the entire ninja world? Fourth Raikage also hummed. No, wrong. In that battle back then, even the leader of your Akatsuki organization died in the hands of Mizukage-sama. What are you talking about launching the Fourth Ninja World War now? The mysterious masked man laughed out loud, got up. You mean Pain? Indeed, he is the founder of the Akatsuki organization, but he is just a pawn in my hand. Now that he is dead, it may not be a good thing. I tell you, it's best to mobilize all your strength to prepare for the battle, otherwise everything will be helpless when the time comes. You have no idea how powerful we are now. People will continue to talk. Chian Yu stopped them, and said, indeed, Uchiha Madara reappeared. I'm afraid you also created a lot of white Zetsu soldiers? Coupled with the larger Impure World Reincarnation Army newly created by Yakushi Kabuto over the years, it is indeed qualified to be an enemy of the entire ninja world. The mysterious masked man's face suddenly changed. You, how do you know? Chian Yu broke all his hole cards casually, which made the mysterious masked man extremely shocked. Although it wasn't the first time, every time Chian Yu revealed all the secrets, he couldn't accept it at all. Chian Yu laughed and said, I said it long ago, I know everything. Masked man, this battle will indeed break out sooner or later, and it's time to settle the score with you. Go back and tell Uchiha Madara that I, Chian Yu, are waiting for him on the battlefield. The mysterious masked man was shocked. HMPH, Chian Yu, it seems that you are still so confident. Even the title of Uchiha Madara doesn't make you feel intimidated? Chian Yu said. What about Uchiha Madara? Just a man who should have died a long time ago. This era, this ninja world, has long been beyond his control. The mysterious masked man sneered. You mean, you are the master of this era in the ninja world? Chian Yu smiled slightly, non-committal. The mysterious masked man sneered, don't be so arrogant, Chian Yu. Even if I am not your opponent, there is still the real Uchiha Madara. His power is beyond your imagination, Chian Yu said. Then see you on the battlefield. I'm also looking forward to this battle. As for you, it seems that you are no longer worthy to be called my opponent. He stretched out his palm suddenly, and a terrifying freezing cold erupted instantly. It directly freezes the entire space. For a moment, the whole body of the mysterious masked man was frozen in the void, unable to move at all. Don't talk about fighting and counterattack, you can't even do defense and escape. Chian Yu couldn't help but sneer disdainfully. Is it just a shadow clone? It seems that you are much cowardly than before. Boom. Chian Yu shook his palm, and this shadow clone, which was completely bound by the frozen space, was immediately crushed into a complete powder and dust, and disappeared. But then, it turned into a cloud of white smoke. Obviously it was indeed just the shadow clone of the mysterious masked man. In the original work, he personally announced the opening of the Fourth Ninja World War at the Five Kages Conference. Now, he has lost his original courage due to repeated defeats by Chian Yu, so he can only have the courage to send a shadow clone forward. Everyone looked at the mysterious masked man who was instantly killed. Although he was only a shadow clone, he already possessed the power of Kamui Mangekyo Sharingan in a Rinnegan, enough to surpass almost all ninjas. Unfortunately, he met Chian Yu. Onoki and Fourth Raikage looked at each other, and they both saw fear and awe in each other's eyes. Because they feel that Chian Yu's current strength is even more unfathomable than 2 years ago. Onogi sighed. Mizukage-sama, it seems that Uchiha Madara has indeed been reborn. This Fourth Ninja World War is also on the line, and it has to be launched. Chian Yu said. Indeed. The Fourth Ninja World War is inevitable, but this time is different from the previous ones. It is no longer a conflict between our 5 major countries, but a war with Uchiha Madara and the entire Akatsuki organization. Therefore, this time, there should be no previous grievances among the 5 major powers. They must be united in order to be able to unify the outside world. If you can't do it, you will only be taken advantage of by Uchiha Madara and the Akatsuki organization, and the whole ninja world will be destroyed at that time. Onoki said, Master Mizukage is right. This time is probably the biggest threat to the entire ninja world, an unprecedented terrifying power. Uchiha Madara back then, because of the restraint of first Hokage Senju Hashirama, his ambition to unify the ninja world could not be realized, but now that he has made a comeback, he will be more powerful and terrifying than before when he becomes emperor. To be honest, we have to go all out to have any hope of winning. Fourth Raikage nodded. It's unbelievable that a legendary figure like Uchiha Madara will reappear. Gaara said. Indeed, the current Sanagakure will fight side by side with other major powers, and there will be no other conflicts. As the new 5th Kage, Gaara is definitely making a statement. After all, the feud between Sanagakure and Kirigakure is well known throughout the ninja world. Now that he said so, it means that Sanagakure has given up being an enemy with Kirigakure and united with the outside world. Of course, this is also an inevitable choice. Compared with Kirigakure, the current Sanagakure is like an ant against an elephant, and the possibility of confrontation and revenge has long since disappeared. Gaara's approach, on the contrary, is the most sensible. Chian Yu glanced at him and said with a smile, this is the best. Tsunade also looked at Chian Yu. Since it is a war for the entire ninja world, we must be completely united. I still recommend Mr. Mizukage as the president-commander of the 5 major countries, and form the ninja coalition of the 5 major countries to jointly face Uchiha Madara and Akatsuki organize. Who is for and who is against? Although everyone knows that Tsunade's words are nothing more than what Chian Yu himself meant. But after hearing this sentence, no one dares to refute who is for and who is against. After all, strength is everything. Chian Yu smiled slightly. Since everyone has said so, then I will do my part. I declare that the Fourth Ninja World War has officially begun. The ninja allied forces of the 5 great nations will start forming today. The Fourth Ninja War broke out completely. And Chian Yu, as the president-commander of the ninja coalition of the 5 major countries, also immediately commanded the 5 major countries to deal with the war. Uchiha Obito, or Uchiha Madara, launched the Fourth Ninja World War. On the one hand, of course, for the war itself. On the other hand, there are two most direct purposes. One is to capture all remaining tailed beast Jinchuriki. The other is to get back the Rinnegan that Chian Yu took. These are all necessary conditions to activate infinite Tsukuyomi. Needless to say, Chian Yu, the remaining tailed beast Jinchuriki are now under Chian Yu's order to gather again and rejoin one place. It is strictly guarded by the entire ninja alliance. As for the power against the 100,000 white Zetsu army of the entire Akatsuki organization, it is naturally the entire 5 major countries, plus various small countries, and even the warriors of the Iron Country, such a force in the whole ninja world. Under the leadership of the President Marshal Chian Yu, the entire ninja coalition army was divided into teams, each led by its own captain, and responsible for different fronts. Although it is a coalition of ninjas, the difference from the original work is that Chian Yu still forms a team according to the forces of each major country. In this way, the cooperation must be more tacit than that, and there will be no infighting. What's more, there are 5 cages from the 5 major countries here, and the leaders of other small countries can command, so why use an elite ninja from a ninja village as the captain, or there may be a situation where the command is not effective. Then, under Chian Yu's assignment, the ninja coalition forces of the 5 major countries were divided into 5 teams. The Kirigakure Grand Alliance, led by Agent Mizukage Terumi Mei, includes Ching, Bai and others from Mingbu, Kisame from Anbu, Momochi Zabuza and others, and the Ghost Clan led by the Ghost Full Moon, the Goji Clan, and the Black Ho Clan, Dried Persimmon Family Ren Kirigakure Internal Family Forces. It also includes the Earth Spider Clan, the Snow Clan, the Hyuga Clan, the Uchiha Clan, the Wei Yoruichi Clan and other major foreign family forces. The Earth Spider Clan includes the Patriarch, the Traveler, the girl Earth Spider Yingying who is good at puppet secret arts, and others. The Snow Clan includes the Patriarchs Shui Mu Yu Yi, Shui Mu Yu Shui, and Shui Mu Yu Bai Lien. The Hyuga Clan includes the Patriarchs Hyuga Hiyashi, Hyuga Tokuma, Hyuga Taka, Hyuga Iroha, Hyuga Neji, Hyuga Hanada, Hyuga Hanabi and others. The Uchiha family is headed by the acting Patriarch Uchiha Yudai, including Uchiha Mikoto, Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha River and other tribes. The Wei Yoruichi tribe is headed by Kagaya Kimimaro, leading other tribes who have inherited the dead bone pulse blood succession limit. Gaideng Kongyu, the patriarch of the Gaideng clan, leads the Gaideng Manyu, Gaideng Shuiyu and other clansmen. The Goju family has the patriarch Goju Azumo, and there is also Goju Shigu in the clan who was good at the magnet-style secret technique. Yuenshi and the elders stayed behind to sit in Kirigakure. Others Ganbei, Nakayoshi, and other members of the 7 ninja swords, including Ringo Yu Yuri, Chojuro, etc., as well as Hakura from Scorch Style, Uzumaki Karen, Shigego, Sagiri from Sand Control Secret Art, etc., everyone is almost pouring out. As for the 2 perfect Jinchuriki, 3 tails Jinchuriki Miru, 6 tails Jinchuriki Bubble, and the imperfect 7 tails Jinchuriki Fu, Chian Yu ordered them not to play for the time being. Of course, if it is really a last resort, they will be allowed to participate in the battle in person. The entire Kirigakure No. 1 wing rushed towards the battlefield. And what greeted them was the power prepared by the Akatsuki organization for Kirigakure. There is a white Zetsu army of nearly 20,000 people. And the Impure World Reincarnation Army led by the most powerful second Mizukage before Kirigakure, Ghost Lantern Moon. Ghost Lantern Moon, before Chian Yu was born, was well deserved, without a doubt the strongest Mizukage in Kirigakure. It can even be said that it is the most famous book ever written by Fukin. His large-scale illusion magic steaming pavilion technique is a terrifying illusion that can cover the entire battlefield, enough to fight against the terrifying existence of the entire ninja coalition with his own power. Not to mention, his own special hydration technique, or oil technique, is enough to immunize almost most of the physical attacks and ninjutsu damage, even because he is not ordinary hydration but oil. Even the Ghost Lamp clan's most powerful, he is not afraid of the lightning-style ninjutsu that he is afraid of. In addition, another great secret technique of the Ghost Lamp clan, the water iron cannon technique, and his own blister technique's crazy bombardment. Of course, the most frightening thing is his infinite blasting water-style ninjutsu, steaming danger and blasting power. To put it bluntly, Ghost Lantern Wanyue alone can fight against an entire army of ninja coalition forces. In addition to the Ghost Lantern Moon, the Impure World Reincarnation's army also included some of the strongmen who died before Kirigakure. Among them are the 7 ninjas of the previous generation, the Kirigakure ninjas who died in the hands of Might Dai and Chian Yu. Black Ho Leia, Loquat Ten Zhang, Tonkao Yebaran, Wuli Jinba, Yi Zunchuanwen, etc. Although they don't have ninja swords in their hands, their strength is still not to be underestimated. And besides the army of Impure World Reincarnation, there is also a member of Akatsuki, Uchiha Itachi. Soon, Kirigakure's ninja team encountered the Akatsuki organization and Uchiha Madara, which were specially used to deal with Kirigakure's large army. Terumi Mei looked at the 2 leaders opposite, one was Uchiha Itachi, and the other was the strongest Mizukage Magic Moon. For a moment, she couldn't help but feel deeply moved. Ghost Lantern Wanyue looked at the Kirigakure Ninja League in front of him, but he was shocked. Is this the present Changyan village? There is such a powerful force. Compared to the village under my control, it is more than 10 times and 100 times stronger.
Terumi Mei smiled. Second Mizukage, this is all thanks to the current 5th Mizukage Chian Yu.
He rescued Kirigakure from the desperate situation in the Blood Mist, and in less than 10 years, he made Kirigakure the #1 force in the ninja world. Even surpassing Cloud Shinobi Village and Konoha Village, standing firmly and proudly at the pinnacle of the ninja world. Ghost Lantern Wanyue smiled. Really? Then I would like to meet this 5th Mizukage Chian Yu-sama.
Terumi Mei said. That's hard to handle. He is now the president of the 5 major countries, and there is only one enemy to deal with, and that is the enemy's president Uchiha Madara.
Ghost Lantern Wanyue frowned. So, I don't know anyone like Uchiha Madara who can compete with that kind of man except for the ninja god Senju Hashirama, but according to what you said, this Lord Wang Yu has such strength.
Terumi Mei nodded and smiled. He has. Ghost Lantern Wanyu laughed loudly. Then I can rest assured. It seems that Kirigakure will definitely flourish under the hands of Master 5th Mizukage Chian Yu, which makes me willing to die. However, you can't take it lightly. Now I am controlled by the caster of Impure World Reincarnation, and I will launch an offensive involuntarily. Next, it's going to war.